Strikes continue to be traded between Israel and Iran. Mike Tobin has more for NewsTalk KZRG.
Once again, southern Israel took a hit from an Iranian missile. It hit in the town of Beersheba, very near an apartment and an industrial complex, causing fire and damage on the ground. No reports of injuries. There are reports that this single missile made its way through the air defenses because one of the interceptors malfunctioned. Beersheba is the same town where yesterday a missile hit the Soroka hospital, resulting in dozens of minor injuries, some of them serious. The IDF says strikes were carried out in the areas of Isfahan and Tehran, saying the equipment are both radar installations and missile systems intended to strike Israeli aircraft.
President Trump is leaving open the possibility of diplomacy to end Iran's nuclear program.
President Trump will decide in the next 2 weeks whether to order U.S. strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities, given that there is a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place in the near future.
He is a peacemaker in chief. He is the peace through strength president. And so if there's a chance for diplomacy, the president's always going to grab it. But he's not afraid to use strength as well, I will add.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says all options remain on the table for possible U.S. strikes, including the use of bunker buster bombs. The president is expected to continue meeting with his national security team daily through the weekend. At the White House, Jared Halpern.
Republicans floating ways to find savings in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Iowa Senator Joni Ernst floating a number of ideas on the Fox Business Network's Mornings with Maria. Among them are removing unemployment insurance for millionaires and selling unused federal office buildings.
We will save ongoing costs to the taxpayers.
Republicans are looking for ways to find more savings for the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. The Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill could add roughly $3 trillion to the deficit over 10 years. Republicans have disagreements over the cost of the bill and its potential impact on Medicaid. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz.
72 at 6:03. NewsTalk KZRG.
One man is in custody after a fiery crash near Veneta, Oklahoma yesterday.
It all happened when a car lost control on I-44, swerved into a box truck, which caused that semi to veer off an overpass and fall onto Highway 60 below, where it burst into flames. The driver of the car, Nurbon Hernandez Guzman, fled the scene on foot but was found in a wooded area about 3 hours later. He now faces several charges and is also being held for immigration and customs enforcement. Only minor injuries were reported. I'm Ty Albright, NewsTalk KZRG.
Celebrate Neosho returns with music, food, family fun, and fireworks. Jessica Johnson with the City of Neosho tells NewsTalk KZRG.
Our annual Celebrate Neosho event is coming back this year, and it will be on Saturday, June 28th in downtown Neosho. We will have live music, lots of free activities and paid activities. We'll have some community booths, a car show, and then we'll also have some special contests going on.
Now that fireworks show will be ending the night at around 9:30. Full details inside the KZRG app. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. News Talk KZRG 72604.
In Jeff City, legislators hammered out a preliminary package to convince the Kansas City Chiefs and Royals to stay in the state of Missouri and not relocate to Kansas. Missouri Lieutenant Governor David Weissinger told News Talk KZRG they didn't get around to voting until the wee small hours of the morn.
We've been awake for 16 or 17 hours. You're just not going to have your best product in place. And I'm not sure the senators quite knew what they were voting on. I talked to a few of them after the fact. They had buyer's remorse a week later and said then had to go through the House of Representatives, said if there were any changes to the bill, they were now not going to vote for it.
Lieutenant Governor Weissinger then told News Talk KZRG the people who benefited the most from this bill were big city lawyers and the St. Louis Cardinals.
Well, as Ted mentioned earlier, today marks the longest stretch of daylight in 2025 and the very first day of what's already looking to be a hot summer season.
The first day of summer is when the sun stays out the longest. It's happening today with the sun at its northernmost point, with around 15 hours of sunlight, according to the Farmer's Almanac for the northern half of the globe, officially kicking off the summer solstice with pools and beaches likely in high demand as a heat wave moves in this weekend into next week for millions of Americans across the country, including triple-digit double-digit temperatures expected, along with heat warnings across the East Coast's I-95 corridor. Jeff Manasso.
Now with sports, here's Lucas Davis on News Talk, KZRG.
In MLB action, the Cardinals earned a sweep of a doubleheader against the White Sox on Thursday. St. Louis scored 3 times in the 8th inning to rally and beat the Sox 5-4 in Game 1. Wilson Contreras homered and drove in 3. Ivan Herrera and Alec Burleson each had 2 hits and scored a run in the win. Lars Newbar homered in the 10th inning to send the Redbirds to an 8-6 win in extras over the Palehosers in Game 2. The Cardinals are back at home for 7 straight, with the first of 3 against Cincinnati scheduled for 6:15 tonight at Busch Stadium. You can hear that game on our sister station, AM 1230, The Talker. Joe Caglione went deep twice for his first 2 home runs of the season in the Royals' 4-1 win over the Rangers. Vinny Pasquantino added a 2-run bomb in the win as well. The Royals are at the Padres for 3 games, with the opener scheduled for 8:40 tonight. In Mid-America action, the Piney Woods Timberhogs defeated the Joplin Outlaws 6-4. In the NBA, the Indiana Pacers even the series at 3-3 with a 108-91 win over the OKC Thunder in the NBA Finals. Game 7 is set for 7 p.m. on Sunday. Lucas Davis, News Talk KZRG.
It is absolutely free of charge. Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bojorquez.
Next news at 6:30. Breaking news as it happens. AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9, News Talk KZRG. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Here's meteorologist Jeff Marr.
Here is your KZRG forecast. Clear this morning, then a sunny afternoon with gusty winds out of the southwest and a high of 92. The heat index close to 100. Overnight clear, the low 76. And a dry weekend with sunshine tomorrow and Sunday as highs get close to 90. I'm Jeff Marr in the KZRG Storm Center.
For almost 70 years, Zimmer Marketing has helped thousands of businesses tell their story, reach new people, and grow their bottom line. When you need to reach people, choose the company that spent decades perfecting their craft while getting better with age. Zimmer Marketing.
Absolutely clean sweep this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. 72 in Neosho, 70 in Pittsburgh. It is 72 in Webb City, 72 in Joplin. Going to be a hot one, folks. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time now 6:08.
Zimmer Marketing is proud to partner with local businesses and encourage you to shop local first.
Get ready for camping season with Lodge cast iron products and professional cookware from Allied Restaurant Supply. Become master of the campfire grill when you cook with the equipment the professionals use.
This is Daniel from Allied Restaurant Supply. Come see us at 1316 South Main in Joplin.
Local businesses are the backbone of our communities. Zimmer Marketing encourages you to shop local first.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them, but they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go, and that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
You've got dentures, and they worked, for a while at least, but after a few years, they don't fit as well anymore. Sometimes they make your jaw sore, and it's getting harder to eat your favorite crunchy foods.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
We got Jimmy, Girl Chris. What's going on, Sarisa? We got a full house today.
That's not Girl Chris. That's your boss lady.
That's
what she said, lady. She said yesterday.
Yesterday she's boss
lady.
Do you identify as boss lady, Chris? Is that your gender? Fair enough.
Good morning, Suzanne.
Hey, Suzanne.
The denture to the jawbone. Implants also prevent bone loss and help maintain your facial structure, preventing the premature appearance of aging.
Call Joplin Family Dental to schedule an appointment today.
Or find more information about implants at joplindental.com.
Where did you get that smile? Joplin Family Dental.
From Studio 1Z,
with the latest news, commentary, and weather. It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on NewsTalk, KZRG.
Little first day of summer music, Steve.
Oh, wow.
And today is the first day of summer. Welcome to it.
And welcome to it as well. I thought you were going to play in the good old summertime.
The good old summertime?
Jerry Mundo, I believe, was the name of the artist.
Jerry Mundo and the Mondo Twins.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Ah, look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually when we do a cappella here on the show, it is like nails on a chalkboard. But in this case, it was like nails and toenails on a chalkboard. It was like both, hands and feet.
How'd you know I had toenails?
It's Ted Bojorquez.
It's Steve Scott.
News Talk KZRG, AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. Don't forget Chris Plant. He's joining us in 3 hours. So that'll be good. Hey, Steve, what's our weather outlook today?
Well, we have an update on the current temperatures. It's now 70 in Neosho, 72 in Pittsburgh. It's up to 73 in Miami and 73 in Joplin now. And it's going to be one of those days where I'm still trying to figure out why 1 degree makes it the difference between just the temperature and hot.
What do you mean?
Well, they're now saying that it's going to be sunny and hot today with a
Who's
high of
they?
92.
The National Weather Service?
And
Okay.
Jeff Maher as well, our meteorologist. But then tomorrow it's 91. They're saying sunny, but it's not hot.
Oh. So once we broach 92 degrees Fahrenheit, then it's legally, definitionally hot.
I asked that of Jeff yesterday, and he didn't exactly have an answer for me. Maybe he'll have it later today. But it's going to be sunny and hot on Saturday, 91. Sunday, 90 and sunny and hot. And no, they don't say hot. And then Monday, sunny again. No word of hot, but 91 for the high. And Tuesday, sunny, but the high of 91 again. Temperatures tonight are going to be in the mid-70s. So it's definitely already into summertime. And right now, again, 73.
By the way, for mid-70s, Steve entered his mid-70s in the 1970s.
Ooh.
Sorry, I had to squeeze in an age joke in there somewhere.
Well, as the Bee Gees said in 1977 and 78, I was staying alive.
Well, yeah.
Staying alive.
So anyway, back to my previous comments about nails on a chalkboard.
Oh, yes. Let's here.
Now, Steve came in this morning tickled pink because he had some sort of surprise for me. Is that right, Steve?
Yes. In fact, you need to get your finger ready.
My finger? Which one?
I'll tell you in a
You don't
minute.
want to know which one, buddy.
Oh, yeah, I will. You'll hear it. I will tell you that last Sunday was Father's Day, and of course, my kids both wish me a very happy Father's Day.
Okay.
Well, last night was the first night we saw the kids after Father's Day.
Okay.
And my son presented me with a gift.
A Father's Day gift.
Which
Steve,
I happened to bring in.
Is this where you give me the pregnancy test that I hadn't seen previously and suddenly I'm found out that I'm a father?
Over 350 what?
Let the record show Steve has produced the world's greatest dad jokes, the complete collection of over 350, hold on, what is it, cringe-worthy puns and one-liners.
I have no idea what's coming up.
Let's see. God. Okay, so basically your kids gave you a loaded weapon to bring into the studio. That's what I'm hearing here.
What did the buffalo say when his son left for school?
What?
Bison.
All right, give us another one. Oh, my God. And by the way, also let the record show it's in size font 7,000.
Not all of them are. Some of them are.
It's like 6 words a page.
What do porcupines say when they kiss?
What?
Ouch.
This sucks.
I'm loaded, man. I'm loaded.
And
now
by the
you
way,
understand why I was smiling and just really giddy about it.
And by the way, he's got 348 more of those.
No, more than that.
It's over
350.
Over 350. All right.
You're going to be playing that boo and bad jokes sounder for a long time.
Oh, my gosh. All right. So for all those in the 4 states, I would like to formally apologize on behalf of News Talk, KZRG, and Zimmer Marketing because that dad joke book will not be leaving the studio.
Oh.
And you will 100% be hearing a lot more of those where that came from.
I'm working on it.
Oh, my gosh. Do your kids, was that a gift for you, or was it more like an anti-gift for me and the, 4-state area at large?
Yes.
Okay, both. Excellent. What I'm hearing is
I think my son has a great sense of humor.
What I'm hearing is that your kids are absolute agents of chaos.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my
they
goodness.
are. They are.
All right. Well, we're sitting at a KZRG news time of 6:15. Truly, the gift that just keeps on giving is what Steve has produced for us this morning.
That's over a year's worth or almost a year's worth of dad jokes.
Oh, my God.
Ooh, all right.
God help us. You know, I really thought the death of me was going to be what's happening in the Middle East with this potential nuclear proliferation situation, but I'm starting to think it might just be the dad joke book here in the studio. So that's lovely news.
Okay.
In other news,
turning the page.
Yeah, turning the page. Oh God. Because the book, yeah. Earlier this month, the President of the United States, Donald Trump, superseded California Governor Gavin Newsom by deploying the California National Guard, which is typically the governor's job. Now, Gavin Newsom did not deploy it, did not want to deploy it, and Donald Trump said, "Kick rocks, pal, I'm deploying it," hashtag eat my shorts, and went ahead and did it without him.
Eat my shorts, that's pretty good. I like that.
I can't really take credit for it, but thank you. Now, that led to a number of lawsuits and a rather big fight legally. But in the end, and the news that we have for you this morning is just yesterday, in a unanimous ruling from the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals, President Donald Trump was allowed to keep control of the National Guard troops deployed in Los Angeles. What he did was legal. Steve obviously agrees with that with the applause. Now, the ruling stays a lower court order that ordered command of the troops back to California Governor Gavin Newsom. Very briefly, the timeline is Gavin said, "No, we're not doing it." President Trump said, "Yep, deploy the National Guard." One court said, "Nope, you're not allowed to do that." Another court said, "Okay, pause this fight until we kick it up to the Court of Appeals. Let's see what's going on." And the Court of Appeals said, yes, Trump was in the right for doing that. Now, this marks a bit of a historic moment because a president of the United States hasn't made a decision about the deployment of a National Guard without permission of the state's government since 1965. That was the last time it was done.
Well, you see, it has happened before.
Oh, absolutely.
1965 would have been President Johnson.
That's exactly right, Steve. President Lyndon B. Johnson, he deployed him in March of 65. Johnson did that. He federalized the deployment of the Alabama National Guard to protect civil rights marchers traveling from Selma to Montgomery, overriding the objections of then Alabama Governor George Wallace. Mm-hmm. So A, there's absolutely historical precedent, and B, the court said Trump was within his legal means of doing so.
Yep.
So bada bing, bada boom. Sorry, pal. That's the rule.
Pound rocks, Newsom.
Pound rocks.
They'll be a little bit slippery, though, because of your hair gel.
Oh, that's true. Now, I want to read a little excerpt from this ruling of the Ninth Circuit Court. Boy, that's a tough one for me. The Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. There it is.
Yay! Good one.
I kept on wanting to say Circuit City. You know, like...
Circuit City was a great business.
Yeah,
many
exactly.
years ago.
They were the ones in the pyramid buildings, right?
No, they were in the square buildings, but they had a big circle that said Circuit City on it.
Oh, okay. Who's the one that had like the Egyptian-themed... It was like Egyptian-themed Radio Shack. There was a bunch of them in California. It doesn't matter.
I don't remember.
Anyway, here's an excerpt from that ruling where the court said Trump was within his legal means to deploy California's National Guard amidst these L.A. riots. The ruling read, quote, "We conclude that it is likely that the president lawfully exercised his statutory authority under," and then the statute, which authorizes federalization of the National Guard when the president is unable with the regular forces to execute the laws of the United States. Bam. Like you said, Steve, kick rocks, Gavin Newsom.
Put him in his place.
Mm-hmm. So curious your thinking on that. Feel free to text us at 417-782-1310. KZRG News Time, 6:20, coming up at 11. Clay Travis and Buck Sexton. They're going to be cracking the mic here on NewsTalk KZRG, and I can almost guarantee you they're going to have a lot to say about that very story.
Yes, I would agree.
What's this little, Steve has a little smirk. What's this smirk you're giving me?
Oh, I'm trying to plan out some more
dad jokes.
I'm thinking about it.
Oh, God.
KZRG's Big Three on NewsTalk KZRG.
Number 3.
The IDF said it carried out a series of strikes overnight, more than 60 Israeli fighter jets attacking dozens of military targets in Iran. Israel doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.
Number 2.
A unanimous ruling from the Court of Appeals says that President Trump was allowed to keep control of the National Guard troops deployed in Los Angeles. This is the first time that a president has deployed the National Guard without the governor's permission since 1965.
Number 1.
Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley accusing Tyson Foods of utilizing child labor and illegal immigrants in their workforce while simultaneously closing down American plants and laying off American workers. Hawley has requested the Labor Department investigate.
By the way, Chris on our Facebook live stream, sponsored by Fast Monkey Auto and Liberty Tree Gun, he said it was Fry's. That's the electronics store I was thinking of.
Don't think we had them here.
Oh, there was not Fry's in the
I
four
don't
states.
remember.
Okay,
Just
it was
McDonald's. They had fries.
Oh my! I'm just gonna hit the button.
Thank you.
Now, the KZRG question of the day on News Talk KZRG.
What are your thoughts on the U.S. removing certain food dyes from our food? That's a big initiative in the MAHA movement, Make America Healthy Again, spearheaded by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. in the Trump administration. What is your thinking on the whole food dye thing? Do you think it's a big issue? Do you think it's a non-issue? Do you care, not care? Are you annoyed, celebrating? We want to know. Go to KZRG's Facebook page, or you can text us at 417-782-1310. Coming up, we're going to take a little listen to what's going on with your money, and coming up at 2 is Sean Hannity on News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. It will be dry not only today, but right on through the weekend with high pressure in control. Clear this morning, then some afternoon sun. The high headed to 92. That heat index, though, near 100, adding humidity as winds gust in from the northwest at times. Still breezy tonight with a clear sky to low down to 76. A sunny and windy Saturday with a high of 91 and a heat index into the mid-90s. And some more dry weather on Sunday and Monday. Expect sunshine each day as high temperatures top out in the low 90s. I'm Jeff Marr in the KZRG Storm Center.
Don't sit the summer away. Feel the sunshine and get a mini tattoo, the cutest new topper hat, delicious drinks, and so much more at Zimmer Marketing's Red, White, Sip and Shop event. June 28th from 10 till 2, next to Joplin Greenhouse and Food for Less. You can find over 75 vendors.
Good morning, everybody.
And it's all to raise money for Honor Flight of the Ozarks. Join the fun and support a great cause.
Hey, Jason, what's going on?
Sponsored by Zimmer Marketing, Joplin Green.
Hey, John Michael, how you doing, man? It's been a while. How's life been?
Talks about how they can help you with your garden this summer.
Teresa and Ted, what's this about a pregnancy test? Hey, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Hey, Chris, thank you. That's exactly what it was fries. Good eye, man. I'm very impressed that you. I couldn't think of it. I couldn't remember it. But yeah, it was totally fries. That's exactly what I was thinking about. Hey, Carol.
And that is due to a lack of calcium.
Jason says taking too long to get them removed. Wouldn't have them removed until 2027. I'm sorry, Jason. Could you? What are you referring to? I apologize. I might have missed something here.
With all the combined employees that work here, and we're happy to share. You will not believe your eyes when you walk in our greenhouses and see the beautiful, healthy plants we have growing and the waves of color. It's just.
The food dye. The food dye. Yeah. You think it would take too long to get rid of the food dye? Is that what you're referring to? Yeah, I mean, I think so, but there's no time to start, there's no time like the present, you know? They say there's a great quote, this was sort of a greeny environmentalist quote, but I think it applies to a lot. The quote is, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time to plant a tree is today. And that's kind of this idea of, there's no time quite like today to start. Dye in the food, yeah. Yeah, no, I agree, but why not? Yeah, it might take too long, but I say let's go for it. Unless you think that should they up the speed? Because I can get behind that, upping the speed once they're doing it. She said, so on the way to get my truck inspected, it broke down and I had to call a tow truck. Oh,
well, that's bad.
Yeah, looks like that was called an impromptu inspection, and it failed.
Community Bank and Trust, where trust is so important, it's in our name. Member FDIC.
I'm going to switch you over so you know what's going on with your money.
I'm Nicole Murray with your money now. Japan's Nippon Steel announced it has finalized its $14.9 billion takeover of U.S. Steel as they unveiled details about the deal. The pact calls for Nippon to invest $11 billion to the U.S. Steel facilities through 2028 and gives the U.S. president vast authority to veto major business decisions. President Trump has given TikTok another 90-day reprieve, issuing an executive order deferring enforcement of the 2024 law requiring the Chinese-controlled video app to be sold or shut down for national security reasons. The TikTok ban was set to take effect on January 19th, but Trump has issued a series of extensions. The most recent extension expired yesterday. CNBC reports Meta recently tried to acquire Safe Superintelligence, the AI startup launched by OpenAI co-founder Ilya Sutskever. When Sutskever rebuffed the offer, Mark Zuckerberg moved to recruit the startup CEO and co-founder Daniel Gross instead. Futures are slightly lower. That's your money now.
What does the future of mobility in Michigan sound like? That's the sound of new EV charging stations at our state parks. That's the sound of over $20 billion in new investments to produce EVs and batteries in Michigan. And that's the silence of Michigan's new En-Road wireless charging system. Discover all the ways MEDC is driving next-gen mobility in Michigan at michiganbusiness.org.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything, but while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk, KZRG.
Ted Borges.
And Steve Scott.
First day of summer. Look at that.
Hot-blooded. Check it and see. I've got a fever of 103.
We're not messing around today.
No.
It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. Also streaming live in a handful of places, including NewsTalkKZRG.com and, of course, on the KZRG app, which is totally free to download in the app stores.
I know one of the songs you're going to put in 6 months from now.
What?
You're going to be putting in I'm as cold as ice by the same group.
Cold as ice.
Someday you'll
willing
sacrifice.
To sacrifice our love.
Anyway, go ahead.
Steve, how's our weather today?
Well, it's going to be sunny and it's going to be hot. Hot, because they're saying the highest is going to be around 92 today.
And by the way, with that
but it's not going to be hot
pronunciation,
tomorrow. 91 for tomorrow and sunny.
Yeah, I was going to say, with that pronunciation of hot, Steve is also announcing the launch of his ASMR YouTube channel.
My what?
So tomorrow's also going to be hot, Steve?
No, 91 for the high tomorrow.
Oh, so not hot.
It's not hot tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
And same for Sunday, same for Monday. Sunny with temperatures in the 91 range. So that, according to the National Weather Service and Jeff Maher, that's not hot.
Yeah, we're going to have a little talking with them about that.
It might take a little bit longer to fry an egg on the sidewalk. You and I are going to have to try that.
Frying an egg on the sidewalk?
Sure, let's try frying an egg on the sidewalk.
That doesn't sound
Sure.
tasty.
Oh, you don't eat it.
Oh, you don't eat it?
No, you leave it for the birds.
Steve, that's like just burning $27 with egg prices. Are you crazy?
They're down. Haven't you heard that?
They are down, but they're
huge.
They're still
down.
up, though.
Oh, okay.
They're still expensive. They're just down what their high was.
Anyway, it's currently 70 in Neosho, 72 in Pittsburgh, 73 in Carl Junction, 73 in Joplin, and it's going to be a nice hot day. Stay as cool as you can.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely you're going to want to be doing that. Check out some shaded areas if you can. Hey, coming up at 7:05 and at 8:05 today, you're going to want to be tuned in to FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. So set your alarm right now if you tend to pop in and out of our show here. Because at 7:05 and at 8:05, today is our last day of us giving away code words. Steve's pulling out his phone to set his alarm.
I'm going to set the alarm.
Steve, you're in the studio during...
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, okay, I am. Never mind.
Steve just gets a little bit nervous. Needs to set his alarm. At 7:05 and at 8:05, we're giving away code words for your daily shot at a pair of tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival. Your shot, your chance to see Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan live and in concert at the Outlaw Music Festival, taking place at the Thunder Ridge Nature Arena in Ridgedale, Missouri on Sunday, June 29th. That's next Sunday, not this upcoming one. Free tickets. You're not going to want to miss out. Now, when you hear those code words, text them to 417-782-1310, and today is the last day you can get in the running for these tickets. Go to newstalkkzrg.com, click on the contests tab for all the details. Steve, you have your alarm set?
It's set.
Okay. Hey, coming up after the news in about 10 minutes here at around 6:40, China. Amidst all this stuff going on with Iran right now, China is might be trying to pull a sneaky one on us with their airplanes. Or two, or maybe even 5. And we're going to be getting into those details and how China's sleuthing around with all this Iran stuff. That's coming up next on News Talk KZRG.
At 6:31, I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bohorquez.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG. Mideast war raging on.
Decision within 2 weeks.
Looking for savings, hopefully in the right places. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG, topping out at 92 today. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Jeff Marr. Following award-winning sports, that'll be at 6:38. 70 in Neosho, 72 in Pittsburgh. Sun is on the rise at 73. In Diamond, it's 73 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. On your smart speaker, News Talk KZRG. Strikes continue to be traded between Israel and Iran. Mike Tobin telling News Talk KZRG.
Once again, southern Israel took a hit from an Iranian missile. It hit in the town of Beersheba, very near an apartment and an industrial complex, causing fire and damage on the ground. No reports of injuries. There are reports that this single missile made its way through the air defenses because one of the interceptors malfunctioned. Beersheba is the same town where yesterday a missile hit the Soroka hospital, resulting in dozens of minor injuries, some of them serious. The IDF says strikes were carried out in the areas of Isfahan and Tehran, saying the equipment are both radar installations and missile systems intended to strike Israeli aircraft.
President Trump leaving open the possibility of diplomacy to end Iran's nuclear program.
President Trump will decide in the next 2 weeks whether to order U.S. strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities, given that there is a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place in the near future.
He is a peacemaker in chief. He is the peace through strength president. And so if there's a chance for diplomacy, the president's always going to grab it. But he's not afraid to use strength as well, I will add.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says all options remain on the table for possible U.S. strikes, including the use of bunker buster bombs. The president is expected to continue meeting with his national security team daily through the weekend. At the White House, Jared Halpern.
Senate Republicans trying to find ways to save money in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Iowa Senator Joni Ernst floating a number of ideas on the Fox Business Network's Mornings with Maria. Among them are removing unemployment insurance for millionaires and selling unused federal office buildings.
We will save ongoing costs to the taxpayers.
Republicans are looking for ways to find more savings for the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. The Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill could add roughly $3 trillion to the deficit over 10 years. Republicans have disagreements over the cost of the bill and its potential impact on Medicaid. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz.
AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. News Talk KZRG. 73 with the sun rising at 6:34.
Well, tuition is on the rise. Speaking of the sun rising, that at Missouri Southern State University. News Talk KZRG's Steve Smith with more.
The MSSU Board of Governors took action last week. In-state tuition will increase by 3.45%, bringing the rate to $300 per credit hour. Also, student service fees will increase by $145, totaling $836 per semester. The university cited the higher cost of doing business as the main reason for the tuition hike. Steve Smith, News Talk, KZRG.
Missouri's Whiteman Air Force Base in Knob Noster near Sedalia awaiting possible word that some of its specialized aircraft could be sent to Iran to target the underground nuclear power plant.
Whiteman Air Force Base in western Missouri is home of the B-2 stealth bombers. A statement from the base indicates the airmen are ready to respond if they get the call from the White House, and that maintaining readiness every minute of the day is job one for the command. Each B-2 bomber can carry two 30,000-pound bunker-busting bombs, which could be used to target Iran's Fordo underground nuclear power plant. Recently, the military has repositioned refueling aircraft to the Middle East in the event the B-2 is sent there. The B-2 has the capability of long round-trip flights as long as it's refueled in the air. Sue Danielson, Missouri Net.
If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. News Talk KZRG, 73 at 635.
A man from Webb City has been accused of 3 counts of child abuse. 35-year-old James Choate, the third, allegedly beat, kicked, and choked a 4-year-old boy. That child's babysitter noticed bruising and called police. His bond has been set at $100,000.
Ted, here's the story that you might have something to look forward to when you get married for the first time.
Okay. What about for the second time?
Or the third time. A Florida man avoids going home to his angry wife, but probably wishes he had gone home.
He traded the ball and chain for handcuffs. The unidentified man is accused of breaking into a random house and hung out there for several days to avoid going home to his wife after they had a fight. Polk County Sheriff's deputies were called to the home by a neighbor who noticed suspicious activity while the homeowner was away. When cops walked in, they found the suspect cooking himself dinner and had just run a luxurious bath. He faces unarmed burglary and other charges. Chris DeMeo.
Hey, you know
a
what?
Luxurious bath. That sounds like something you would do.
You know what? Bath bombs are pretty cheap these days.
Yes, they are. Now with sports, here's Lucas Davis on News Talk KZRG.
In MLB action, the Cardinals earned a sweep of a doubleheader against the White Sox on Thursday. St. Louis scored 3 times in the 8th inning to rally and beat the Sox 5-4 in Game 1. Wilson Contreras homered and drove in 3. Ivan Herrera and Alec Burleson each had 2 hits and scored a run in the win. Lars Newbar homered in the 10th inning to send the Redbirds to an 8-6 win in extras over the Palehosers in Game 2. The Cardinals are back at home for 7 straight, with the first of 3 against Cincinnati scheduled for 6:15 tonight at Busch Stadium. You can hear that game on our sister station, AM 1230, The Talker. Joe Caglione went deep twice for his first 2 home runs of the season in the Royals' 4-1 win over the Rangers. Vinny Pasquantino added a 2-run bomb in the win as well. The Royals are at the Padres for 3 games, with the opener scheduled for 8:40 tonight. In Mid-America action, the Piney Woods Timberhogs defeated the Joplin Outlaws 6-4. In the NBA, the Indiana Pacers evened the series at 3-3 with a 108-91 win over the OKC Thunder in the NBA Finals. Game 7 is set for 7 p.m. on Sunday. Lucas Davis, News Talk KZRG.
Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. It's free of charge. It's available at your app store. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Ted Bohorquez.
Next news, 7 o'clock. Breaking news as it happens. News Talk KZRG. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Jeff Marr.
Here is your KZRG forecast. It will be dry not only today, but right on through the weekend with high pressure in control. Clear this morning, then some afternoon sun. The high headed to 92. That heat index, though, near 100, adding humidity as winds gusting from the northwest at times. Still breezy tonight with a clear sky, to low down to 76. A sunny and windy Saturday with a high of 91 and a heat index into the mid-90s. And some more dry weather on Sunday and Monday. Expect sunshine each day as high temperatures top out in the low 90s. I'm Jeff Marr in the KZRG Storm Center.
KZRG Storm Tracker Radar looking clear this morning. It's 70 with sunshine at Neosho, 72 in Pittsburgh, 73 in Columbus, 73 in Joplin. 100 weather updates every 24 hours on News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time, 6:39.
Well, there it is. Another fella trying to YouTube his way through a panel change.
I thought red was positive and black was also positive.
Jack, that's not a car battery. That's 200 amps of You're Gonna Meet Jesus. Folks, I'm Daniel Ipock from Ipock Electric, and here is Jack, my daughter's boyfriend and my part-time cautionary tale.
I'm fine. It just tingles when I blink.
Listen, when it comes to electrical, don't be that guy trying to fix a breaker with a butter knife. Call a professional. At Ipock Electric and Solar, we do it right the first time. Whether it's fixing mystery outlets, adding patio lights, or installing a whole backup generator so your fridge don't melt during the next storm.
And we'll leave your eyebrows right where you found them.
So unless you like the extra crispy smell floating through your house,
or you want your cousin Carl the handyman knocking out the power for the whole neighborhood, you should Ipock it with Ipock Electric and Solar.
Call us at 417-437-2905 or find us at ipocelectric.com. That's IPOCK electric.com.
Honey, I just flushed the toilet and the shower drain is backing up.
On it.
Hello, a representative from Timbuktu will be with you in 34 minutes.
When you got a clog that can't be beat, when your shower water is above your feet, when you flush that bowl and it makes you frown,
Spring River makes that drain go down.
Hi, this is Nathan with Spring River Drain and Sewer. Skip the big corporate out-of-town companies and call us for first-rate hometown service. At Spring River, your drain problem is our top priority, and our licensed drain experts are prepared to tackle the toughest clogs in the quickest way possible. We charge flat-rate pricing, so you know the price before we even show up. Get started on fixing your sewer, drains, or septic issues today. Schedule an appointment at springriverdrain.com. And remember,
Spring River makes that drain go down.
Your life and your loved ones' lives depends on what you've done to prepare. Disasters, shortages, supply chain failures, they're not ifs, they're wins. Don't be left without life-saving medication. The Jace case is a prescribed set of emergency antibiotics.
Although they said it takes 2 weeks to go out. So.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah,
Hey, everyone, how's it going?
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Gary. Rick is here. Tammy, what's shaking? Docaroni is here. Street said, not sure. Several people said it might be something simple. Someone's going to have to take a look tomorrow. Hopefully it's something simple, or else I'll just have to get two, or else I'll just have two non-working vehicles. Hey, maybe you can Frankenstein them together to get one working one. My good friend, the famed Wobbledork, his vehicle was having issues yesterday, and so I had to go give him a jump.
Hey Sunshine, it's Morgan, your favorite nurse injector and skin expert at Oasis Salon and Day Spa. Summer's here, and while you're soaking up the sun, don't forget that your skin deserves some love too. Whether you're headed to the lake, the beach, or just out running.
Yeah, hopefully it's an easy fix.
I hope so too.
Yeah, I had to give Wobbledork a jump and then drop him off at work. And since I was over there, me and his girly friend went to the mall.
His friend that's a girl?
His friend that's a girl. Did a little mall shopping with her. Had a good time.
Good morning, Rose.
Hey, Rose.
Our IV drips are packed with vitamins, electrolytes, and skin-loving nutrients to help beat the heat and give your glow a serious kickstart. Plus, I'm still offering your favorite toxin and filler treatments, just with that summer-safe glow-up in mind. So if your skin's feeling dull, clogged, or just needing a little me time, come see me. I'll keep you glowing into fall. Schedule your consultation or book online at oasissalonanddayspa.com or call 417-206-9999.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk, KZRG.
Longest day of the year, Steve.
Hot child in the city, Nick Gilder.
Happy summer to you and yours. Go and soak up some vitamin D, a little bit of sunlight, and hopefully some living and laughing and loving.
And for the forecast for today, sunny and hot. High of 92.
Oh, what's our outlook this weekend, Steve?
It's going to be not hot, just 91 for the high on Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday 91. Again, they're calling that not hot. They're just
the National Weather Service don't put the hot tag on unless it's 92.
No, they're not saying much for the nighttime. Just mostly clear with 75 for tonight, 75 tomorrow night, 73, a little bit cooler on Sunday night, 72 on Monday night.
All right. Yeah, that four-state heat is really starting to move into the area.
And enjoy all 14 hours and 41 minutes of sunlight today on this first day of summer for 2025.
Yeah, is that summer solstice, right? Is that why it's...
That is correct.
Boy, the Earth is weird, isn't it?
Yeah, just, it's... As I was explaining to one of my classmates on Facebook the other day, they were talking about climate change. I said, yeah, it happens 4 times a year.
Spring, fall, summer, and winter, huh?
That's right.
It's Ted Bojorquez.
It's Steve Scott. And by the way, they hit the boo cart sound effect as soon as I said that.
Oh, I have no. On Facebook, did they thumbs down it?
Yes.
It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. That is very much so a Facebook mom joke to make.
Yes.
That's up there with Facebook mom jokes and my doctor said I can only have one glass of wine, but they didn't say how big the glass was, and
That's
it shows
true.
a picture of a barrel.
That'd be definitely. I wouldn't have to drink very much of that to be out cold.
It's also true.
Yeah.
We're sitting at a KZRG news time of 6:45 in the a.m. Hey, don't forget Chris Plant. He's coming up at 9, and I know he's going to have a lot to say about this story. Several Boeing 747s have been spotted on radar leaving China and heading for what appears to be Iran.
Yeah, they say they're going to go one place, and then suddenly they stop going to the one place and get below radar and go someplace else.
Sort of a little mysterious. Now, if you're not fully caught up, very briefly, what's going on in Iran is chaos. Essentially, Israel launched an attack. The U.S. might also launch an attack. Looks like the whole regime might be toppled, honestly, in the next 2 to 3 months, if not sooner. Might even be 2 to 3 weeks this thing is toppled. We're not sure.
Right.
Now, Iran and China, they have their buds. The CCP and Iran are international friends for a myriad of reasons. One, they both don't like the United States. And number two, I believe it's more than 40% of China's oil and gas comes from the Middle East, most of that coming specifically from Iran. And the reason why they do that is because there's a lot of oil sanctions on Iran's oil, and China doesn't care about international sanctions.
Oh, no.
Because they don't really care about playing fair.
They get it cheaper.
They get it below market price because Iran will sell it to China for cheap because they're the only one buying it. So Iran gets a little bit of cash money, and China gets oil for real cheap. So they have a really big synergetic connection there. So they are allies.
But considering that the refineries have been hit by Israeli attacks, they might not be getting as much.
That is very probable, yeah.
And there's another thing in the story here. They talk about how when the planes got to the Iran area that they fell off of radar. Well, there's a good reason. The radars have all been knocked out.
Yeah, maybe. So basically, really, the story is people are noticing that a bunch of planes are leaving from China and going to, quote-unquote, they're, quote-unquote, going to countries near Iran, but then disappear kind of over Iran. So the question is, well, what's happening? What are they doing?
They appear to be cargo 747s.
Yeah. So the question is, really, there are two theories being posited here. Number one, China is smuggling cargo into Iran. Or number two, China is smuggling cargo out of Iran. Those are kind of the two theories. Now, there's technically a third theory, which is that the radars might just be knocked out and maybe people are misreading the radars, and that's totally possible.
Well, where the radars are working, it's kind of odd because they say they're going one place, and then when they get near the one place, they suddenly change course.
Yeah, for instance, there was one plane that was supposed to be going to Europe, and then there's no record of it actually crossing into European countries at all. So they're starting to call them mystery transport planes. Yeah, there has been at least 5 of them that were flying westward along northern China, then crossed into Kazakhstan, and then south through Uzbekistan, and then into Turkmenistan.
Yay! You got all the stands right.
Look at that. And apparently this particular plane was supposed to show up in Luxembourg, but it never did. And it kind of disappeared around the Iranian border. So again, it's just a little bit of a mystery. Technically, maybe a conspiracy. And technically, maybe it could also just be nothing.
It could be a big nothing burger.
It absolutely could be. Now, some people, again, are positing this idea. I think China might be smuggling munitions into Iran. I would argue that doesn't seem that likely. I think Iran is so cooked at this point, they would need way more than 5 cargo planes of munitions.
Yeah, but if Israel found out there were munitions in those planes would not be landing. Or if they did, they would be gone as soon as they landed.
I think they would land. The problem is that they would land in a big fiery mess
and they would not take
right
off
around terminal velocity.
Yeah, and they would not take off ever again.
Right. So that, to me, what's more likely with these quote-unquote mystery transport planes that we're seeing reports of is it seems more likely to me that perhaps China is smuggling cargo or even people out of Iran.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the leader of Iran is still in Iran.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking high-level military leaders. I'm thinking high-level religious leaders. I'm thinking high-level political leaders are probably being smuggled out of Iran.
That's
now, whether
my guess.
that's what's happening here or not, We're not sure.
No.
We're not sure. This is just, we're seeing these reports, and I've been seeing a lot of chatter online about these mystery transport planes. But it seems more likely to me they're transporting people out of Iran, especially for the following reasons. Number one, like I said, China and Iran, they're buds, and yet China's been real quiet about what's been going on in Iran.
Of course.
Real quiet. So it seems to me that if China were to offer any assistance, this is as far as they would be willing to go, is transporting leaders out. We saw Russia do something very similar with leaders in the Russian sphere of influence.
Right. Well, considering the fact that when people at the top of the chain get taken out by Israel, and then 4 days later the person who replaced them gets taken out, that's one of those situations where, yeah, they might be leaving the country.
They might be, and China might be aiding in that. Again, we don't know. This is all speculative at this time, but what we do know is that there are reports of 747 cargo planes leaving China, heading out near the Iranian area, and then at a weirdly somewhat higher rate than usual, they kind of pop off the radar. What's happening? Not sure, but that's the news for you. KZRG News Time, 6:50.
KZRG's Big Three on News Talk, KZRG.
Number 3.
The IDF says that it carried out a series of strikes overnight, more than 60 Israeli fighter jets attacking dozens of military targets in Iran. Israel doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.
Number 2.
A unanimous ruling from the Court of Appeals says that President Trump was allowed to keep control of the National Guard troops deployed in Los Angeles. This is the first time that a president has deployed the National Guard without the governor's permission since 1965.
Number 1.
Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley accusing Tyson Foods of utilizing child labor and illegal immigrants in their workforce while simultaneously closing down American plants and laying off American workers. Hawley has requested the Labor Department investigate.
Now, the KZRG question of the day on News Talk, KZRG.
What are your thoughts on the U.S. removing certain food dyes from our food? We want to know your thinking. Go to KZRG's Facebook page, or you can text us. News Talk KZRG. You can text us at 417-782-1310. Join the live conversation happening right now. Coming up at 2, Sean Hannity. He's going to be joining us. And coming up next, we're going to be taking a little listen to what Sean Hannity has to say with Hannity's Morning Minute on News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. It will be dry not only today, but right on through the weekend with high pressure in control. Clear this morning, then some afternoon sun. The high headed to 92.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I had a little bit of a intensive leg day at El Gimnasio, which is Spanish for the gym. And I'm a little sore today.
Did you hear the one about the man who ironed a 4-leaf clover?
Oh, save it till we're on air.
Okay.
Put a bookmark in. I want to hear that. We'll do that one next.
Okay.
Hey, Rose. Good morning. Teresa said my vehicles already look like they've been Frankenstein. Hey, Jason. What's going on?
So she got a new hearing aid, and she's back to be
Gang's all here.
Conversation.
Mid-America Hearing Center offers extensive testing of your hearing.
Did your stapler had an accident?
My what?
Your stapler had an accident.
What'd you do to it? Lucas is giving me smack because I wanted a stapler for my desk. I didn't have one. So I went into the little office supply closet we have here, and I found an automatic stapler where you plug it in, you just stick your paper in it, and it automatically does it.
It's the most pretentious stapler ever.
So I went and set it up at my desk because I wanted it, and it was nice. Nobody else was using it, so I claimed it. And Lucas is making fun of me for it.
Tell him why.
Well, it doesn't work very well, so I gotta...
Very well isn't at all.
That might be why it was in the closet.
That might be why nobody wanted it, is because it doesn't really work. So I gotta either fix it or go find a different stapler, but...
You put the paper in there to staple it, and it just grabs the paper and then doesn't release it and doesn't put a staple in it. It's like basically a dog playing fetch, but never releases the toy.
So you throw the dog.
Right.
It's
so that stapler just jumped off his desk.
Jack Black and Anchorman.
It jumped off the desk, and now it's hanging itself by its own cord.
Yeah, it's not a great stapler. Yeah.
I'm Agent Chris. This is Agent Zach.
So,
Your shirt looks great with the beard on the camera.
it's pretty crazy to think that Jaws came out 50 years ago.
I know.
My uncle was trying to get my son to watch it with him. Or not my uncle, his uncle, my brother-in-law.
That's a movie that I did so much for the genre, but
Don't know if it holds
it
up.
does not age.
Some parts of
Did
it,
not
though.
age.
Like,
No, for sure. And again, it's an iconic film. I have no beef against it. But horror and humor never age well. Things that were funny in the 1950s.
I think you're going to be able to look back on movies like The Hangover.
I think that too, but here's the deal. I look back at the movie Airplane, and I can appreciate it, but I'm not actually laughing. I'm just like, oh, that's funny. But at the time, that was peak humor. But humor,
I don't know, because if I go back and watch Blazing
changes.
Saddles, I laugh hysterically, and that was well before my time.
I don't, though.
Well,
Like
that's
humor,
because you get offended by it, though.
Yeah, Young Frankenstein was one that I loved when he said, walk this way.
Yeah, like that I don't find. Like, humor alters. I'm not saying it's not funny. It's just what, like, the zeitgeist of humor, the cultural what is funny and how humor is expressed.
So you don't think Seinfeld
changes.
translates?
I think Seinfeld's awesome. I think that my kids will probably not find Seinfeld funny.
But you finding Seinfeld funny is the equivalent because that was 2 generations before your time.
No,
almost.
Seinfeld ended the same year I was born.
So Seinfeld was a generation before me that watched that because I was a little kid when Seinfeld was out.
That still is you, though.
So that's 2 generations past that you still find Seinfeld funny, though.
Yeah, but I grew up. That's my
Gen
point.
Xers had Seinfeld.
My point, though, is that what I grew up with, I will probably always find funny.
But you didn't grow up with that.
Well, I did grow up with that.
Yeah,
Because you watched reruns. That wasn't out when you were a kid.
When I was a kid, I didn't know they were reruns.
What I'm saying is all these people are going to be able to watch reruns of these shows, so that's the same
I just don't think it's going to be funny to them. The same way when Steve was saying the walk this way joke, he found it funny when he was younger, and he still finds it funny because he grew up with that. I don't find that funny because my humor from my generation is totally different.
That's true.
It's more internet.
It's not funny.
And the same way that like deep dank memes and like MLG meme culture is funny to me. I know you don't get it. No offense. Like it's just a different type of humor.
Babylon Bee humor though.
That's okay. We can agree on that. But if I were to show you like Shrek is love, Shrek is life.
Yeah, but I could claim that I could show you people that are born now that don't like that stuff.
Yeah, you probably could, and absolutely it is individual. But I also think that I'll take you to the 1950s. Like, man, what'd you say, man? Like that
I like
style.
plenty of stuff.
That's not funny anymore, is it?
But
It was
Rear
funny at the
Window is
time.
awesome, and that's a horror movie.
Who?
The Birds is awesome. That's a horror movie.
It's not scary though. It's an awesome movie.
There's a lot of horror movies that are good now that aren't scary.
I agree.
Yeah, look at
That's just
Carrie,
on whether or not you find something scary. That's not whether or not it's a good movie.
Well, like
No, that's not my argument. My argument is that what is broadly considered this is horror and really scary alters. Because we now have things like better graphics, we have better writing.
I would
better
argue
lighting.
that that's better. That's a better argument than the comedy. I think the comedy translates.
I don't think so. I think they're kindred spirits.
I think in
horror
20
and
years,
humor-
people are still going to be watching Seinfeld that weren't even close to being thought of when Seinfeld was on
Ooh,
there.
Gary
It's
says Home
possible,
Improvement
but I
was
don't think
funny,
it's likely.
Frasier was funny, Seinfeld was stupid.
What? You bite your tongue, sir. I love Seinfeld.
No, that's
Bite your
Gary.
tongue off, Gary.
We're just joking, Gary. We love you.
On News Talk, KZRG.
Ted Bohorquez.
Steve Scott.
Lucas Davis.
First day of summer is here.
Yeah, it's summer in the city.
Longest day of the year, sunlight-wise, of course. But pretty much every Saturday
Yes.
night is the longest day for Steve because he's up getting wasted with Mrs. Steve every
Friday
Saturday.
with you in the Hawaiian shirts, that's the longest day for me every day of the week.
What? Why?
On Fridays. Just because I have to be with you on Fridays.
And Steve's just desperately crawling to the weekend. And
Trying
here
to
I
get
am.
out of here.
Here I am, bap, 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 in his ear all day. Steve, what's our weather outlook here?
Going to be sunny, and according to the boys that predict the weather, hot. High of 92, but tomorrow 91, it's not going to be hot.
That's what they say.
Yeah, that's what they
I think
say.
it's going to be hot anyway. Hey, coming up.
Heat index. It'll get you.
Yeah. Hey, coming up in 5 minutes at 7:05, we're going to be giving away a code word for your daily shot at a pair of tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival to see live and in living color Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan. When you hear the code word, text it to 417-782-1310 for your shot at a pair of tickets. Good morning.
The 4 states news, talk, and severe weather station. KZRG, KIXQ HD2, Joplin. A free service of Zimmer Marketing.
At 7 o'clock, I'm Steve Scott.
I'm Lucas Davis.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG. Mideast war raging on.
Decision within 2 weeks.
Looking for savings, hopefully in all the right places. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Topping out at 92 today, your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Jeff Marr. Following sports at 7:08. 72 in Neosho, 72 in Pittsburgh, 73 in Lamar, 73 in Joplin. AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9, News Talk KZRG. Strikes continue to be traded between Israel and Iran. Mike Tobin tells News Talk KZRG.
Once again, southern Israel took a hit from an Iranian missile. It hit in the town of Beersheba, very near an apartment and an industrial complex, causing fire and damage on the ground. No reports of injuries. There are reports that this single missile made its way through the air defenses because one of the interceptors malfunctioned. Beersheba is the same town where yesterday a missile hit the Soroka hospital, resulting in dozens of minor injuries, some of them serious. The IDF says strikes were carried out in the areas of Isfahan and Tehran, saying the equipment are both radar installations and missile systems intended to strike Israeli aircraft.
President Trump is leaving open the possibility of diplomacy to end Iran's nuclear program.
President Trump will decide in the next 2 weeks whether to order U.S. strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities, given that there is a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place in the near future.
He is a peacemaker in chief. He is the peace through strength president. And so if there's a chance for diplomacy, the president's always going to grab it. But he's not afraid to use strength as well, I will add.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says all options remain on the table for possible U.S. strikes, including the use of bunker buster bombs. The president is expected to continue meeting with his national security team daily through the weekend. At the White House, Jared Halpern.
Republicans are looking for ways to find savings in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Iowa Senator Joni Ernst floating a number of ideas on the Fox Business Network's Mornings with Maria. Among them are removing unemployment insurance for millionaires and selling unused federal office buildings.
We will save ongoing costs to the taxpayers.
Republicans are looking for ways to find more savings for the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. The Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill could add roughly $3 trillion to the deficit over 10 years. Republicans have disagreements over the cost of the bill and its potential impact on Medicaid. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz.
On your smart speaker, on AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9, 73 with sunshine at 7:03 News Talk KZRG.
2 young boys were killed when they were hit by a train in southeast Kansas Wednesday afternoon.
Well, it happened on a railroad bridge over the Neosho River. 16-year-old Arthur Polrees of Walnut, Kansas, and 12-year-old Colin Showalter of Erie were unable to outrun the train. Officials say they found Polrees' body Wednesday afternoon, but as of late last night, they were still searching for the remains of Showalter. Authorities believe he was swept away in the flooded river below. I'm Ty Albright for News Talk KZRG.
Inattentive driving caused a fatal crash Wednesday afternoon in northeast Oklahoma. The Highway Patrol says that 39-year-old Keith Jones on his motorcycle driving when he was hit by a pickup truck on the southwest side of Miami. Jones pronounced dead at the scene. The truck driver not injured. If you see news, text us 417-782-1310. 73 with sunshine at 7:04.
Missouri Governor Mike Kehoe is on his first international trade mission to Europe. While he's gone, Lieutenant Governor David Wassinger is the man in charge. He told News Talk KZRG.
The big concern was, while he was gone, whether or not these protests, would get out of hand somewhere in the state of Missouri. And so far, so good. Nothing really developed along those protests where you have to mobilize the National Guard or do anything while he's out of the country. So it's been pretty quiet in Missouri, which is a good thing.
Wassinger says he met with Governor Mike Kehoe before he left, but only for about 45 seconds to make sure they were on the same page.
Today marks the longest stretch of daylight in 2025 and the first day of what's already looking to be a hot summer season.
The first day of summer is when the sun stays out the longest. It's happening today with the sun at its northernmost point with around 15 hours of sunlight, according to the Farmer's Almanac for the northern half of the globe, officially kicking off the summer solstice with pools and beaches likely in high demand as a heat wave moves in this weekend into next week for millions of Americans across the country, including triple-digit temperatures expected, along with heat warnings across the East Coast's I-95 corridor. Jeff Manasso.
7:05, it's time now for your code word.
Your 705 code word is tickets. Text the word tickets to 417-782-1310 for your daily shot at a pair of tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival. Tickets is your 705 code word.
Now with sports, here's Lucas Davis on News Talk KZRG.
In MLB action, the Cardinals earned a sweep of a doubleheader against the White Sox on Thursday. St. Louis scored 3 times in the 8th inning to rally and beat the Sox 5-4 in Game 1. Wilson Contreras homered and drove in 3. Ivan Herrera and Alec Burleson each had 2 hits and scored a run in the win. Lars Newbar homered in the 10th inning to send the Redbirds to an 8-6 win in extras over the Palehosers in Game 2. The Cardinals are back at home for 7 straight, with the first of 3 against Cincinnati scheduled for 6:15 tonight at Busch Stadium. You can hear that game on our sister station, AM 1230, The Talker. Joe Caglione went deep twice for his first 2 home runs of the season in the Royals' 4-1 win over the Rangers. Vinny Pasquantino added a 2-run bomb in the win as well. The Royals are at the Padres for 3 games, with the opener scheduled for 8:40 tonight. In Mid-America action, the Piney Woods Timberhogs defeated the Joplin Outlaws 6-4. In the NBA, the Indiana Pacers evened the series at 3-3 with a 108-91 win over the OKC Thunder in the NBA Finals. Game 7 is set for 7 p.m. on Sunday. Lucas Davis, News Talk KZRG.
It's absolutely free at your app store. Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. I'm Steve Scott.
And I'm Lucas Davis.
Next news, 7:30. Breaking news as it happens. AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9 News Talk KZRG. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now, here's KZRG meteorologist Jeff Maher.
Here is your KZRG forecast. Clear this morning, then a sunny afternoon with gusty winds out of the southwest and a high of 92. The heat index close to 100. Overnight clear, the low 76. And a dry weekend with sunshine tomorrow and Sunday as highs get close to 90. I'm Jeff Maher in the KZRG Storm Center.
For almost 70 years, Zimmer Marketing has helped thousands of businesses tell their story, reach new people, and grow their bottom line. When you need to reach people, choose the company that spent decades perfecting their craft while getting better with age. Zimmer Marketing.
Clean sweep on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar this morning. 72 Neosho, 72 in Pittsburgh, 73 in Carthage, 73 in Joplin. News Talk KZRG with 100 weather updates every 24 hours. KZRG News Time 7:08.
Just like you, the hot weather can be tough on your truck. This is Justin with JL Mobile Truck and Trailer Repair. Hot roads are hard on your tires, your radiators, your hoses, and a lot more. So if you're broken down, remember JL Mobile Truck and Trailer Repair. They can get your truck or your heavy equipment back in action 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Or we can take care of your regular maintenance and stop those problems before they leave you stranded. Call us at 417-438-9461 or visit jlmobilerepair.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting truly great candidates for your roles? It seems impossible to find them. But they have to be out there somewhere, right? Well, they're not hard to find when you know where to go. And that place is ZipRecruiter. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. And because these people are actively looking for jobs just like yours, it's easy to find the right person right away. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. But if you're not using ZipRecruiter, you're missing out. So see what it's like when the impossible is easy. When you go to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try ZipRecruiter for free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free. Never miss out on great candidates with ZipRecruiter.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning Newswatch on News Talk KZRG.
Ted Bojorquez.
Steve Scott.
First day of summer. Steve is already wearing his Speedo. Thank God it's underneath his regular pants that he's wearing today. Otherwise,
thank God. Otherwise, it'd blind you.
Oh, trust me, we'd have a problem. It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Steve, today's the longest daylight of the year, right?
14 hours and 41 minutes of daylight today. It started at 5:58 officially this morning and ends at 8:39, I believe it is tonight, or something like that.
Yeah, we're sitting at
I don't have it directly in front of me for the exact end time.
We're sitting at 7:10 this morning, and it is like bright out already. The sun has clearly been up for a while.
Yeah, and temperature updates that we just got: 72 in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh, 75 in Galena, 75 in Joplin. So we're well on our way. And again, officially, it's going to be sunny and hot. But not the next few days because it's going to be 1 degree cooler.
Yeah, the National Weather Service, they only put the hot title on weather warnings if it's above 92 for some reason. So, well, this was a pretty big story. We've been following this story, broadly speaking, for the last week or so, maybe a little bit longer, and that's what's going on with Iran in the Middle East. Are we going to be bombing them? Are we not? That's the big question mark. Israel certainly is using United States-made weapons. But here's where it gets a little spicy, is Missouri, the show-me state, could actually play a direct role in what's happening in the Middle East right now.
That
Missouri.
Is absolutely correct. Knob Noster, Missouri is the home of Whiteman Air Force Base. And I don't know if you've ever seen these planes in real life. Have you seen them in real life?
What planes are you referring to?
The B-2 Spirit bombers.
The stealth bombers.
They're the stealth bombers. They look like overgrown kites.
Overgrown?
I'm serious, they do. In fact, the first time my wife saw one, we were driving on Highway 65 headed towards Sedalia, which is near Knob Noster, and the plane was real low, flying over doing a test flight.
Mm-hmm.
My wife said, "Man, look at that big kite." And I said, "No, that's a stealth bomber," because I'd seen them all the time before.
You know what it is? It's like, you know how the gremlins, you can't feed them after midnight, or they get like nutty? That's like if you were to get a kite and feed it after midnight, it turns into the B-2 stealth bomber.
Right. But this is officially the only base in the entire world that they have the B-2
Planet
stealth
Earth.
bombers.
Yeah.
Now, they do have some right now stationed over in the Middle East that they might have brought them back, and replaced them with B-52 bombers. But I heard the story yesterday that they have some already stationed, a couple of them stationed over there.
On standby, yeah.
On standby.
And so, yeah, it's pretty crazy that Missouri is home of the only base on the planet that has these stealth bombers. Now, why this is important, you might have heard a lot about the B-2 stealth bombers. You might have heard a lot about Missouri's Whiteman Air Force Base. Why does it matter? Because the B-2 stealth bomber is apparently the only plane on planet Earth that can hold, fly, and deploy a 30,000-pound bunker buster bomb.
Not just one. Each plane can handle two.
Count them, two.
Dos.
Not Dos Equis. Dos Bombos.
Yes.
I think La Bamba, I think, is the official Spanish.
La 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 bamba.
Or maybe I'm just thinking of the song. But in any case, why does this matter? Because Israel, with the assistance of the United States via armaments, funding, and intelligence gathering, has been bombing the living heck out of Iran's nuclear facilities, and they're kind of down to one main one left, which is one that is deep, 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 deep underground.
300 feet deep.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And Israel doesn't have any bombs that are capable of reaching that deep.
No.
Being effective that deep, except for the bunker buster.
Yeah.
Which, how do we get the bunker buster there and deployed? With the B-2 stealth bombers. How do we get those B-2 stealth bombers over there? From Missouri's Whiteman Air Force Base.
They can fly continuously, just have to be refueled while in midair, and they've already got tanker planes ready to go throughout the area that they need to have tankers to refill them while they're flying.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you something that happened. This is the case with, we're going possibly to use them with Iran. I had some business in Knob Noster one day, and when I got up the next morning from the motel resting to drive back, all of a sudden a bunch of planes, I think it was like 10 of these stealth bombers, took off because I was near the air base.
Oh, my.
And then when I was driving back, I found out that they were attacking Iraq at the time. That's when the Iraq war started.
Oh, boy, howdy.
So I was there witnessing the planes taking off just in time to start the attack.
And Steve, in classic old man fashion, said, "Hey, quiet down over there. I'm trying to sleep."
They were loud when I was trying to sleep. They flew right over the motel that I stayed at.
So that's sort of the dealio here. Now, we've gotten word that soldiers, or I guess soldiers is the proper nomenclature. Pilots. Okay, there you go. We'll go with pilots. Pilots and crews stationed in Missouri. They are now on 24-hour, ready to go.
Yep.
Just waiting for President Trump to give that order. Now, the other big news we have, why is it taking so long for President Trump to give the order to go ahead and deploy Missouri's Whiteman Air Force Base's B-2 stealth bombers? And that is, we also have word that Trump is getting a little, I'm not going to use the word, well, I will use the word nervous. He's not nervous about the war. He's not nervous whether or not we'll win. He's nervous about the long-term effect of this conflict.
That's true.
Now, apparently President Trump has concerns over bombing Iran because he doesn't want to create, quote, another Libya, end quote, if the Ayatollah is toppled.
That's true.
Now, what he's referring to is, and he's been using Libya as an example, but Libya, there was that decade-long spiral into chaos and anarchy back in the 2010s under Obama after the U.S. joined a NATO bombing campaign to oust dictator Gaddafi. And that whole country just absolutely imploded on itself, and it's a mess.
Oh, big time.
I think other examples, which, by the way, President Trump has said, used as examples of concern, what happened in Iraq, what happened in Afghanistan. These are countries where we went in, we toppled the regime for legitimate reasons in some cases. They were not pro-America. Mm-hmm. They were threatening us and our sovereignty and our allies, so we had to do something. But the problem is it's really easy to break stuff. It's really easy to break a regime and a government. It's really hard to stitch one back together. It's really hard to make one. And we don't have a really good track record of going into these Middle Eastern countries and leaving it in a decent condition.
Not in the Middle East, definitely.
No, exactly. And again, I'm not saying, oh, America's the bad guy. No, we had to go in and do what we needed to do. No doubt about it. But we left it a little chaotic, and what ended up happening, we have all these terrorist groups pop up. They basically we bombed them basically into warring tribes.
Pretty much, yeah, you're right.
And that's not really good for anyone.
No.
And so Trump, and I'll give Trump a lot of credit here, for as anti-war as he is, he's not afraid to do what needs to be done, but he also, and this is evidence of it, I think, also has the foresight to say, well, we can't just go in and just kick their houses down and walk away. We have to have a plan on what to do after. How are we going to restabilize the region after we basically destroy their government? We have to have a plan, and right now there isn't one, from my understanding.
Well,
I'm sure they're working on it.
There may be that we're not aware of.
There might be.
But yeah, you're right. It doesn't appear to have a plan at this point.
Yeah, and that's where Trump has gone both on record and off record. Some insiders are sort of blowing this story out right now.
But
that's Trump's concern.
I do believe that the leadership that's still with us in Iran, the ones that have not been knocked out of commission yet, I think that they actually understand that if Trump says something, the odds are he might be willing to do it.
Oh, 100%.
Because I don't think there's any way that they could say, if he gave us 2 weeks, that's the maximum that we could have. Notice I said the word maximum.
Oh, precisely.
Because he also said that there was no truth to the fact that Israel was going to attack in the next 24 hours. What did they do? They attacked within the next 24 hours here about a week or so ago.
Yeah, I think President Trump is a phenomenal practitioner in what is called madman theory, which Joe Biden was terrible at. And basically what it is
he was mad. Biden was mad. He just didn't know it.
Yeah. Basically, madman theory is you want our national enemies to think our leader is stable enough to lead well and reasonably, but just crazy enough that he might nuke you. And Trump, very good at that. Yeah. Every time Trump's like, I might do it. Maybe I won't. Well, we'll see. Yeah, I'll probably do it. Like, everyone's like, holy cow, what is this guy going to do? And we want our enemies to be a little bit nervous. We want our enemies to be a little bit afraid.
That's true.
Trump's pretty good at walking that line of he leads reasonably, but also he's just a little nutty enough that, holy cow, he might just absolutely bomb the heck out of us.
He might, and that actually works in his favor.
Oh, it works in the U.S.'s favor,
yeah.
I would argue. Now, apparently, Iran's foreign minister is expected to meet with his UK, French, German, and European Union counterparts in Geneva, Switzerland today for talks. However, America, not invited.
But they're still going to be in the area in case they are invited.
They might.
Or they're going to maybe wait for them to come groveling to the White House, as they were saying yesterday.
That seems more like Trump's play.
Yeah.
Waiting for the groveling. So in any case, that's sort of the more Iranian news for you. But really the big takeaway this morning for the 4-state area is Missouri's Whiteman Air Force Base. Soldiers that are stationed in Missouri, which I would argue if you're living in Missouri, whether permanently or non-permanently, as a soldier or as a citizen, I would argue you're a Missourian.
Yeah.
So we could be days away from Missourians flying to the Middle East.
Or hours away.
Or it could be seconds away.
Anytime.
It could be millimoments
You could be driving between Kansas City and Sedalia on U.S. Highway 50 and see several of the planes take off, and you know where they might be within 24 hours.
Exactly. Missourians may be on their way at any moment to the Middle East to bomb Iran. That's the world we live in.
Wow.
KZRG News Time, 7:20.
KZRG's Big Three on News Talk, KZRG.
Number 3.
The IDF say it carried out a series of strikes overnight, more than 60 Israeli fighter jets attacking dozens of military targets in Iran. Israel doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.
Number 2.
A unanimous ruling from the Court of Appeals says that President Trump was allowed to keep control of the National Guard troops deployed in Los Angeles. This is the first time that a president has deployed the National Guard without the governor's permission since 1965.
Number 1.
Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley accusing Tyson Foods of utilizing child labor and illegal immigrants in their workforce while simultaneously closing down American plants and laying off American workers. Hawley has requested the Labor Department to investigate.
Now, the KZRG question of the day on News Talk, KZRG.
What are your thoughts on the U.S. removing certain food dyes from our food? We want to know your thinking. Go to KZRG's Facebook page. Do you think that's a good idea, bad idea? Maybe you don't care. We want to know. You can also text us at 417-782-1310 or leave an open mic message on the KZRG app. And we were just talking about all the stuff going on in the Middle East, and I know Chris Plant is going to have a lot to say about it. He's going to be joining us at 9. You're not going to want to miss it. Coming up, we're going to take a little look at what's going on with our 4-state area weather on News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. It will be dry not only today, but right on through the weekend with high pressure in control. Clear this morning, then some afternoon sun. The high headed to 92. That heat index, though, near 100, adding humidity as winds gust in from the northwest at times. Still breezy tonight with a clear sky and a low down to 76. A sunny and windy Saturday with a high of 91 and a heat index into the mid-90s. And some more dry weather on Sunday and Monday. Expect sunshine each day as high temperatures top out in the low 90s. I'm Jeff Marr in the KZRG Storm Center.
I'm gonna run out back and get the grill started before everyone shows up.
Excuse me, sir. Do you have a reservation?
Are you a maitre d' in my backyard?
Yes, sir. It's a very popular spot. So, what's the last name?
Smith?
Unfortunately, I don't see you on the list. It looks like the fleas, ticks, and mosquitoes have this area reserved for the entire summer.
Hey, it's Doug and Rory from Bug Away Pest Control. Nothing ruins the party like those pesky, biting insects.
At Bug Away, we've been fighting 4-state pests for over 40 years.
And we're the only place you can get Doug and Rory's pest-free guarantee.
Swim, barbecue, and enjoy your backyard this summer without the fleas, the ticks, and the mosquitoes.
Get started at bugawaypc.com.
We do exactly what we say. We keep the bugs away.
Customer satisfaction is our number one goal at Bug Away Pest Control.
Living in the 4 states, you know who to call when your roof needs work. Cole and the guys at Superior Roofing. And when you're looking for just the right tool for the right job or a new plant for your front porch, you go see Chris and John at Hinkle's Ace Hardware. And when you want the smile of your dreams, you see Dr. Kirk and Dr. Postjan at Joplin Family Dental. You know these businesses because each of them took the time, the leap, and invested in their brand with a transformation at Zimmer Marketing. Hey, I'm Chuck Mefford, and we've helped countless businesses all over the country build their brands, and more importantly, showed them how they can actually measure the success of their marketing budget. Doesn't matter what your business is, the system can work for any category or industry, including yours. And just like Superior Roofing, Hinkle's Ace Hardware, and Joplin Family Dental, let's make your business a household name with a transformation. You can get started on your transformation today at ZimmerMarketing.com. And welcome to the Zimmer Marketing family.
My grandma used to really struggle to keep up with the dinner conversation. She couldn't hear anything. So one day she saw an ad in a magazine for a hearing aid and decided to go ahead and buy it. But she didn't wear it because she hated the way it looked and felt. So we scheduled an appointment at Mid-America Dental and Hearing Center. And it turned out that Grandma's magazine hearing aid didn't fit correctly. And it also didn't work with the type of hearing loss she had. So she got a new hearing aid, and she's back to being an important part of the dinner conversation.
Mid-America Hearing Center offers extensive testing of your hearing aid to make sure it's the right one for you. With a free hearing exam and free cognitive screening, you can find out how your hearing is affecting you and how you can improve it starting now. Mid-America Hearing Center, just off I-44 at exit 44 and at midamericahearing.com.
Best for less in a day, Mid-America Hearing Center.
It's the KZRG Morning Newswatch on NewsTalk, KZRG.
Ted Bojorquez.
Steve Scott.
NewsTalk KZRG news time of 7:25. It's AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. Streaming live at newstalkkzrg.com. And, of course, on the KZRG app. Boy, there's more ways to tune into KZRG than there aren't. That's for certain.
Yeah, even on 102.5 HD2.
Oh,
that one's loud and clear as well.
Joining us live this morning is KZRG meteorologist Jeff Marr.
Good morning, Jeff.
Hey, good morning. For those of you scoring at home, the summer solstice occurs tonight at 9:42 p.m.
I will set my alarm clock, wake up, and celebrate as soon as it happens.
Yes. You can put on a druid costume. You can, whatever you want to do to ring in the official start to summer.
So, Jeff, what time should I put my crystals out to soak up the summer solstice power?
Evening. Actually, sunset tonight is 8:41, and tomorrow, the longest day of the year, because it'll be the first full day of summer. We'll have sunrise at 5:58 in the morning tomorrow, and then a sunset at 8:42 p.m. tomorrow evening. So.
Wow, boy, that's amazing. Well, yesterday I asked you the question: why is the forecast say like sunny and hot with a high of 92, but yet when it's 91, it doesn't say hot? What's the difference like for today and tomorrow and Sunday and Monday? Why is it a difference where it says it's hot today but not hot on those days?
Yeah, the heat index today is going to be the factor. It's going to be a little bit more humid today and starting off the weekend tomorrow, and as a result, we'll have heat index today close to 100 and into the mid-90s tomorrow. That's how hot it's going to feel, but then the air is a little bit drier, not as humid as we head into Sunday, Monday, so we'll still have highs in the low 90s those days, but it's not going to feel quite as oppressive if you're going to be out during the middle of the day and into the start of the evening. So as you make your way out today, we'll start off with a clear sky. We'll see a lot of sun this afternoon. Winds will gust out of the southwest at times, up to 92. That heat index, as we mentioned, near 100 tonight. Clear and breezy down to 76. Tomorrow, sunny with gusty winds out of the south. 91 the high, the heat index in the mid-90s. A little bit more comfortable with a lower humidity level Sunday and Monday. We'll see sun each day and hit the low 90s. And how about this? More dry weather right on through the middle part of next week with sunshine, highs in the upper 80s to low 90s. Our next chance for rain probably not until we head towards next weekend.
Wow. Of course, it has to wait until the weekend. I mean, that's the way it always is.
Well, this weekend, as you officially welcome summer, you'll have some beautiful weather with sunshine to enjoy. So
great day to go and wear, as Ted says, my Speedo and get into the swimming pool.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, I noticed he wasn't excited about
I don't think there's ever a good day for that.
What was that, Lucas?
I don't think there's ever a good day for that.
Oh,
however you want to celebrate summer, that's up to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sorry, Jeff. I know it's a little early to scar you, but there it is.
There you have it.
Hey, Jeff, thanks for joining us this morning. We appreciate you. We'll talk to you again soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Have a good one. That was KZRG meteorologist Jeff Marr with that little summer weather outlook.
And I just marred his brain. Thank you. Hey, I got about another 347 to go in the book.
Oh, boy. Yeah, earlier this morning, Steve revealed that he brought in a book of dad jokes that has more than 350 dad jokes because, Steve doesn't scar us enough with his Speedo imagery. Give us a joke here, Steve.
Did you hear about the man who ironed a 4-leaf clover?
No.
He really pressed his luck. Did you hear about the mouse who took a math test?
Oh, God. No.
He barely squeaked by.
That one gets a full boo.
Okay, I'm done.
Steve,
okay, I'll leave.
I want you to understand that I'm going to have to file for workers' comp here at KZRG because my eyes are going to pop out because I've been rolling them so hard for the past morning with all these dad jokes.
Okay.
Just so you know. Hey, by the way, also just so you know, at 8:05 in 35 minutes here, we're going to be giving away a code word. Now, when you hear that code word, you're going to text it to 417-782-1310 for your daily shot at a pair of tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival, your chance to see Bob Dylan and Willie Nelson live and in concert. And today is the final day we're giving out those code words. In fact, at 8:05 is the final code word we're giving out. So you're going to want to be tuned in for it. 8:05 here at FM 102.9, 105.9 AM 1310. Chris Plant, he's coming up at 9 on NewsTalk KZRG.
At 7:30, I'm Steve Scott.
I'm Lucas Davis.
Here's what's trending on NewsTalk KZRG. Mideast war raging on.
Decision within 2 weeks.
Looking for savings, hopefully in the right places. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than NewsTalk. KZRG topping out at 92. Heat index could hit 101 today. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Jeff Marr following sports. That'll be at 7:38. Sunshine, 72 in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh, 75 in Carl Junction, 75 in Joplin. NewsTalk KZRG. Strikes continue to be traded between Israel and Iran. Mike Tobin telling NewsTalk KZRG.
Once again, southern Israel took a hit from an Iranian missile. It hit in the town of Beersheba, very near an apartment and an industrial complex, causing fire and damage on the ground. No reports of injuries. There are reports that this single missile made its way through the air defenses because one of the interceptors malfunctioned. Beersheba is the same town where yesterday a missile hit the Soroka hospital, resulting in dozens of minor injuries, some of them serious. The IDF says strikes were carried out in the areas of Isfahan and Tehran, saying the equipment are both radar installations and missile systems intended to strike Israeli aircraft.
Republicans float ways to find savings in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
President Trump will decide in the next 2 weeks whether to order U.S. strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities, given that there is a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place in the near future.
He is a peacemaker in chief. He is the peace through strength president. And so if there's a chance for diplomacy, the president's always going to grab it. But he's not afraid to use strength as well, I will add.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says all options remain on the table for possible U.S. strikes, including the use of bunker buster bombs. The president is expected to continue meeting with his national security team daily through the weekend. At the White House, Jared Halpern.
That was the the discussion of 2 weeks for a decision story. Republicans, they're floating ways to find savings in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Iowa Senator Joni Ernst floating a number of ideas on the Fox Business Network's Mornings with Maria. Among them are removing unemployment insurance for millionaires and selling unused federal office buildings.
We will save ongoing costs to the taxpayers.
Republicans are looking for ways to find more savings for the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. The Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill could add roughly $3 trillion to the deficit over 10 years. Republicans have disagreements over the cost of the bill and its potential impact on Medicaid. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz.
AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9, NewsTalk KZRG, Sunshine 75, 733.
Tuition is on the rise at Missouri Southern State University. NewsTalk KZRG, Steve Smith has more.
The MSSU Board of Governors took action last week. In-state tuition will increase by 3.45%, bringing the rate to $300 per credit hour. Also, student service fees will increase by $145, totaling $836 per semester. The university cited the higher cost of doing business as the main reason for the tuition hike. Steve Smith, NewsTalk, KZRG.
Protecting rural hospitals. Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley opposes cuts to Medicaid within the One Big Beautiful Bill. He told CNN that he spoke with President Trump about it.
I walked through him and he said, "Oh, well, that's very surprising." He said, "I'm surprised that they made all these changes and, to the degree they did." I said, "I am too." He was real clear to Senate Republicans just 2 weeks ago. Don't touch anything else on Medicaid. Take the House framework, tweak it if you need to, but do not do anything else. And this Senate framework, it departs from his framework big time.
Lawmakers have been trying to get the bill to Trump's desk before their July recess. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310, 75. It is 735, News Talk KZRG.
Iran cannot allowed to have a nuclear weapon. Missouri U.S. Senator Eric Schmidt says President Trump is in full command as he weighs his options.
And he's also been clear he's not for forever wars, and that kind of thing that we saw for 30 years with American foreign policy, just sort of wandering without any real intention. So I trust President Trump on this to make the right decision.
Schmidt says President Trump is a foreign policy realist, and our country is stronger because of it.
A Florida man avoids going home to his angry wife, but probably wishes that he would have done so.
He traded the ball and chain for handcuffs. The unidentified man is accused of breaking into a random house and hung out there for several days to avoid going home to his wife after they had a fight. Polk County Sheriff's deputies were called to the home by a neighbor who noticed suspicious activity while the homeowner was away. When cops walked in, they found the suspect cooking himself dinner and had just run a luxurious bath. He faces unarmed burglary and other charges. Chris DeMeo.
What comment did you say, Lucas, off mic?
Good for him.
What, for running a luxurious bath?
Yeah, for just getting away from it all.
Can you tell Lucas is married?
Just like I am. Now with sports, here's Lucas Davis on News Talk KZRG.
In MLB action, the Cardinals earned a sweep of a doubleheader against the White Sox on Thursday. St. Louis scored 3 times in the 8th inning to rally and beat the Sox 5-4 in Game 1. Wilson Contreras homered and drove in 3. Ivan Herrera and Alec Burleson each had 2 hits and scored a run in the win. Lars Newbar homered in the 10th inning to send the Redbirds to an 8-6 win in extras over the Palehosers in Game 2. The Cardinals are back at home for 7 straight, with the first of 3 against Cincinnati scheduled for 6:15 tonight at Busch Stadium. You can hear that game on our sister station, AM 1230, The Talker. Joe Caglione went deep twice for his first 2 home runs of the season in the Royals' 4-1 win over the Rangers. Vinny Pasquantino added a 2-run bomb in the win as well. The Royals are at the Padres for 3 games, with the opener scheduled for 8:40 tonight. In Mid-America action, the Piney Woods Timberhogs defeated the Joplin Outlaws 6-4. In the NBA, the Indiana Pacers evened the series at 3-3 with a 108-91 win over the OKC Thunder in the NBA Finals. Game 7 is set for 7 p.m. on Sunday. Lucas Davis, News Talk KZRG.
Now's a good time to download the Zimmer Storm Center app. It's free of charge at your app store. I'm Steve Scott.
I'm Lucas Davis.
Next news, 8 o'clock, breaking news as it happens. AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. News Talk KZRG, where no one gives you more accurate weather more often. Here's KZRG meteorologist Jeff Marr.
Here is your KZRG forecast. It will be dry not only today, but right on through the weekend with high pressure in control. Clear this morning, then some afternoon sun. The high headed to 92. That heat index, though, near 100, adding humidity as winds gust in from the northwest at times. Still breezy tonight with a clear sky, to low down to 76. A sunny and windy Saturday with a high of 91 and a heat index into the mid-90s. And some more dry weather on Sunday and Monday. Expect sunshine each day as high temperatures top out in the low 90s. I'm Jeff Marr in the KZRG Storm Center.
Clean sweep on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar this morning. Lots of sunshine. Beautiful day. 72 in Neosho, 75 in Pittsburgh, 75 in Webb City, 75 in Joplin. 100 weather updates every 24 hours on News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time 7:38.
This is Jeff with Homestead Structures. If you're looking to build your barn-dominium, house, or your dream garage, we need to talk. It's very important to us at Homestead that you're informed, educated, and avoid mistakes. That's why we take the time to understand you, your wants and needs, and can design the perfect custom space you deserve. We would love to be your building partner, but even if you have a builder, let's visit just to make sure you're started on the right.
Yeah. Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
You guys are here just in time to hear Lucas make fun of me.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
You forgot one thing.
Yeah, that'd be great.
No, you forgot one thing, Lucas.
What?
Cool.
Cool. Okay. All right. Here's the deal.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
I would like to pose this, and everyone on Facebook Live is going to hear my proposal.
Cool.
Can we all make bingo sheets for each other for the morning news?
We've done that before.
We have. We did it for Peter, but now that Lucas is here, I think Lucas should make one for me. I'll make one for Steve Areno, and Steve will make one for Lucas.
Steve Areno's going on that list.
What are your thoughts? You think it's a good idea?
Mine's going to be curse words mostly.
Okay, well, for on-air stuff.
Oh, I don't.
It would
Do
be
I have?
it would be for the morning show.
Do I have tells or?
Oh, for sure.
Do I?
Every time Lucas makes fun of me, every time Lucas goes at his story.
Yeah.
Every time Lucas threatens to punch me.
All of my stuff is making fun of or threatening.
Yeah. We'll find some stuff.
I mock every single Fox News reporter's voice.
Evan Brown.
I say their sign.
That's a good one.
Evan Brown.
I think that would be a fun activity.
Ryan Schmelz.
Fox News.
Or the
Gary
robot.
says, "Stop it with the jokes, Steve."
The robot
Why?
from whatever happened to what's his name?
Who? Anthony Morabeth,
Missouri Net. Beep boop beep.
Female or Lady Chris, the cat's name in Alf was Lucky.
Or Lady, what was it? What was the title?
Lady Boss.
Lady Boss Chris.
Yeah, the cat's name was Lucky. Yo, Lucky, my man.
See, Alf's another example of a show that's funny and it's still funny today.
I disagree.
They're talking about it.
I didn't
Alien
find it.
life form is what Alf stood
Again, to use extremes.
So what if you watched All in the Family? You don't think you
Let's
laughed
use
at
extremes
those
though.
jokes?
Let's use extremes. 1950s, 1940s humor. That doesn't age well.
Take my wife.
You can appreciate.
please.
Yeah, like you could appreciate what it did for the humor genre. It set up a basis to build upon what we have today. No doubt about it, there is real value. But if you go back and watch 1940s humor, like, Charlie Chaplin used to be the funniest thing ever. Charlie Chaplin isn't that funny anymore. Like humor, just broadly speaking, tends not to age well, in my opinion.
Who the hell do you think you are?
I think horror is the same way. The Birds, my mother used to tell me when she was a girl, she thought she would have nightmares about the movie The Birds.
Yeah.
I saw it. I could appreciate it as a film. It's a work of art. It did a lot for the genre. This first time I saw it, I was maybe 12 years old, and I was like, what? You had nightmares about this? At 12, it didn't age. You know what I mean?
So what about the Blair Witch?
Blair Witch, I think is awesome. I love that movie. I think it's too early to tell, but I'm willing to bet my kids or my grandkids are probably not going to find Blair
They need
Witch.
to put a camera on a tripod in Blair Witch.
Right. Well, yeah.
Because they were using handheld cameras. So.
Right, found footage style. That's my whole thesis, is that in the overall...
So I have to come back in 20 years just to tell you you're wrong?
Yeah, set your timer.
Rick says you need to put on your TED bingo card how many times he says important in a broadcast.
With the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on NewsTalk, KZRG.
Ted Bohorquez.
Steve Scott.
NewsTalk KZRG. You hear that summertime music, Steve?
Yeah.
Summertime, baby. How's
like
our weather?
Heat wave. That's an old one.
An oldie but goodie, as the kids say.
Yeah, it's going to be sunny. It's going to be hot today. We're expecting a high of 92, but the heat index could top out as high as 101. Drier air tomorrow, as the heat's only going to be around 91, so it's not hot. And the heat index tomorrow is high as 96. And Sunday, sunny with a high near 90, so it's not too bad. It's going to be nice. The middle of the nights, it's going to be down to the mid-70s for the next few nights, so that's going to be great. You can open your windows, turn on the attic fans, and not run the air conditioner.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be It's going to be a warm one today, so just keep that in mind when planning your outdoor activities. Maybe at this point, either get it done ASAP Rocky or consider doing outdoor activities in the evening when it cools down a little bit. I'm talking maybe even at the nighttime.
Thank you for letting me know that.
No problem, Steve. I got you. It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Well, speaking of nice weather, there's a very fun way that you can celebrate this nice weather, get outdoors, and celebrate one of the 4-state area's premier cities. And that is with Celebrate Neosho.
Yeah, it's going to be happening a week from tomorrow night. There's going to be music. There's going to be food. There's going to be family fun. There's going to be, are you ready for this, Ted?
Hold on. Wait. Okay, now I'm ready.
Fireworks.
What?
Yeah, fireworks are going to be there. Now, Jessica Johnson with the City Neosho told News Talk KZRG.
Our annual Celebrate Neosho event is coming back this year, and it will be on Saturday, June 28th in downtown Neosho. We will have live music, lots of free activities and paid activities. We'll have some community booths, a car show, and then we'll also have some special contests going on.
Now, the fireworks show will be ending the night. It'll start around 9:30, and they're saying it should last until about 10 o'clock on that night. But
wow.
Boy, it's going to be
30
a lot of fun
minutes
time.
of fireworks.
That's what they're saying. Should
Holy
last
Toledo.
around 10 o'clock.
Yeah. Now, with some of that live music, there's actually going to be 3 different bands, Mike Snow and Justin Kubil. There's also going to be Rebecca Hawkins Project and, of course, the Lost Dogs. And no, they are not the ones responsible for letting the dogs out, in case you're
I was going to ask that. That
I
thought
knew it.
came to my mind. You read my mind. How dare you?
Look at that. So now all 3 of those bands, they're not all going to be playing at once. They have like sectioned off time slots. You can go to newstalkkzrg.com, click on this story, and you can see what time those individual bands are playing. But again, it's not just live music, and it's not just 30 minutes of awesome fireworks show. There's also going to be a lot of really fun, free events, including bounce houses, water slides, a giant sandbox. That one is really cool. When's the last time you've been in a giant sandbox, Steve?
A long time ago, but it feels like that whenever I have to clean the litter box.
Exactly. And there's also going to be cornhole, which, again, totally free.
Yeah,
and, I mean, let's be honest. Cornhole is like a dad drinking IPA's dream to crack open a cold one and play some cornhole with the buddies.
Let me see if I can get the sound effect.
Yeah.
No, I already got all the fizz out.
Steve tried to open up a sody, but the carbonation was already gone. What a shame. Now, there's also going to be other free activities that are going to be cool that are a little bit more involved, including, are you ready for this, Steve?
I'm ready.
Pony rides.
Ooh, now that's for a fee, though.
Oh, yes, sorry. The pony fee, yes. There's also going to be a kiddie train. There's going to be a bungee jump. There'll be a giant swing. There's also going to be kids finger painting. There will be a dunk tank. There's going to be what they call a bubble activity.
Ooh.
Yeah, which I'm imagining is just you get a glass of water with a straw, and then you blow into the straw while it's in the cup, and then bubbles pop out.
Well, it could be that, or they might have those devices that shoot out bubbles.
No, I know. It's actually going to be a real bubble machine, yeah. There's also, and this is going to be really cool, a water gun war. Now, with some of these activities, you might need to register, and there are also certain age ranges for some of them. So, again, you can go to newstalkkzrg.com to check it out.
We also have the link on the story on the website.
Yeah, we also have the link for all you need to know about it. But, dude, there's even more. Celebrate Neosho is getting really crazy, seriously.
But wait, there's more.
Celebrate Neosho, they got it all going on. There's also going to be a car show hosted by Flagship Auto Group, and there's going to be some contests.
I think this first one's going to be right down my line.
The first contest, what is it, Steve?
It's a watermelon seed spitting contest.
Oh, I thought you were going to say a dad joke contest.
No. I'll have to eat some watermelon with seeds and practice before that night.
Yeah, please don't do it at me.
Oh, you just gave me a great idea.
Yeah, starting Monday morning, I'm going to be in here doing a newscast going, in other news, something going on. Ow!
Ding!
Ow! Yeah, that's exactly what's going to happen. Some other contests going on, balanced bike race. There's also going to be a cutest dog contest.
That'd be right up your line.
My line? What do you mean? I don't have a dog.
Sometimes you're a dog.
Well, hey, you know what?
You identify as a dog.
Don't hate the play, I hate the game.
Yeah.
There's also going to be a kitty tractor pull contest as well. All of this in one event, by the way. This is all the same Celebrate Neosho. They are really going all out for this. Now, we did get word, apparently they were planning on having a good looks contest, but they ultimately had to cancel it because they heard I was showing up, and then it would just be a contest for second place. So really, what's
all comments made by Ted about Ted's good looks, humility, and/or general awesomeness during the duration of this morning show do not necessarily reflect the views of Zimmer Marketing or NewsTalk KZRG. In fact, it is advised all these comments are outright ignored. We now return you to your regularly scheduled morning show.
I would like the record to show that we were required legally by our legal team to implement that disclaimer.
Yes, we were.
Yeah. Not only that, there's also going to be 15 local vendors and restaurants at Celebrate Neosho. Buffalo Creek Barbecue is going to be there, Songbird's Kitchen, Queen Bee Concessions, and a whole heck of a lot more. NewsTalkKZRG.com, that is the place to go. I have to say, we've reported on a lot of local events happening in the 4 states area in various cities and townships. This one, Celebrate Neosho, that's coming up, to me, it seems the most extensive, the most expansive. There is a lot going on, and we really did, by the way, just scratch the surface.
And that's going to be in downtown Neosho 1 week from tomorrow.
1 week from tomorrow. It is advised that you bring your own lawn chairs or blankets to sit on. Feel free to come out and bring some picnic material and stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. You don't have to be a Neoshoian to show up. All you have to be really is someone in a good mood that is interested in building community and hanging out and enjoying the summer.
It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, NewsTalkKZRG.com. Go there for the details. News time, 7:50.
KZRG's Big 3 on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
The IDF say it carried out a series of strikes overnight. More than 60 Israeli fighter jets attacked dozens of military targets in Iran. Israel doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.
Number 2.
A unanimous ruling from the Court of Appeals says that President Trump was allowed to keep control of the National Guard troops deployed in Los Angeles. This is the first time that a president has deployed the National Guard without the governor's permission since 1965.
Number 1.
Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley accusing Tyson Foods of utilizing child labor and illegal immigrants in their workforce while simultaneously closing down American plants, laying off American workers. Hawley has requested the Labor Department to investigate.
Now, the KZRG question of the day on News Talk KZRG.
What are your thoughts on the U.S. removing certain food dyes from our food? We want to know your thinking. Go to KZRG's Facebook page or text us at 417-782-1310. You can also leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. You know, we've been talking a lot about what's going on with Iran and also now this whole food dye thing that Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is spearheading. And I know Chris Plant is going to have a lot to say. You can tune into Chris Plant every weekday at 9. And today specifically, he is going to be going off as he does. Coming up, your chance to win a complimentary taco-free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos on News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. It will be dry not only today, but right on through the weekend with high pressure and control. Clear this morning, then some afternoon sun. The high headed to 92. That heat index, though, near 100, adding humidity as winds gust in from the northwest at times. Still breezy tonight with a clear sky, to low down to 76. A sunny and windy Saturday with a high of 91 and a heat index into the mid-90s. And some more dry weather on Sunday and Monday. Expect sunshine each day as high temperatures top out in the low 90s. I'm Jeff Marr in the KZRG Storm Center.
Summer's here and it's time to fire up the grill. At Hinkle's Ace Hardware, we're your ultimate grilling destination. We've got the brands that last: Weber, Napoleon, Big Green Egg, and Traeger. Whether you're a charcoal connoisseur, a gas grilling guru, or a pellet pro, we have the perfect grill for you. Want to sear steaks to perfection? Or maybe slow cook that mouth-watering brisket? At Hinkle's, you'll find options for every cooking style, ensuring your barbecue game is on point. And don't forget about our Gosney pizza ovens. Create authentic wood-fired pizzas right in your backyard, perfect for entertaining friends and family. And here's the best part: for grills priced $3.99 and up, we offer free assembly and delivery right to your door. No hassle, just great grilling. See store for more details.
Good morning, everyone. Gary said, I love the disclaimer. Well, thanks, Gary. Like I said, the legal team required it, so. Teresa said, honestly, I'm pretty picky about comedy and what I find funny. And that's, yeah. Oh, the Three Stooges? All right, so I'm going to break some hearts here, and I'm going to get some shade, and it'll be warranted. I don't find the Three Stooges funny. I didn't grow up with it. And so that's an example to me of where something, I can appreciate them as an art form. I don't dislike them. I understand why people find them funny. But me and my friends, and again, this is anecdotal evidence, but I've had conversations with my friends. They go, I don't really get the whole hubbub about the Three Stooges. And again, it's just humor shifts. I get that it was super funny at the time, but humor shifts and cultural references change and humoristic styles alter. And so...
Well, that's like Chevy Chase on Saturday Night Live playing Gerald Ford. He kept falling down steps like Gerald Ford did in real life.
Okay.
So that was a humor that was very funny to some people at the time.
Right, at the time, exactly.
At the time, but it's not at the moment.
Right, precisely. So
Ted, you're wrong. Cheers
That's all right.
will always be funny. Seinfeld will always be funny because it's situational humor.
Yeah.
Situations in life don't change.
Well, but okay, here's for instance, Jerry Seinfeld did an interview and they said, could you do Seinfeld today? And he said no, not because of woke or anything. He said, because Kramer wouldn't bust in my apartment, he would just text me. So the situations change. And so the situational humor was based on the types of situations you would find yourself at that era. But we're not in that area anymore. And so the average Joe would not find themselves in that situation anymore. So the humor is gone because they go, I don't relate to this at all. I don't relate to.
But that's not true because there are certain things that happen in Seinfeld when you're like, regardless of what technology is, where you're like, I relate to that because that happens to me 3 times a week.
Yeah, like getting a chef. Like getting a chef, it says no soup for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Satisfaction is our number one goal at Bug Away Pest Control.
It's the KZRG Morning Challenge.
Your chance to win a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos.
And to win it, be the first one on the phone with the correct answer to the question at 417-782-1310, 417-782-1310. Tedro, what's the question-o?
Well, this one's kind of a tough one, actually, but we'll see if we can get it. Here it is.
All right.
The first vending machines in the United States dispensed what? What did the first vending machines in the U.S. dispense? 417-782-1310. And I admit it's kind of a tough one, but it's not a niche thing. It's not like, I'm not looking for like a specific type of Camel cigarette or something.
Okay.
And I'll give you a hint. It was not cigarettes, actually. 417-782-1310. What was the first item that vending machines in the United States ever dispensed? Steve, what's on the line here?
A complimentary taco plus chips and salsa from the multi-award-winning Ghetto Tacos.
NewsTalk KZRG, what is your guess?
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes, great guess, but no, not cigarettes. KZRG, what you got for us?
Cigarettes.
Hello?
You said cigarettes.
Cigarettes? No, not cigarettes. Very good guess, but actually it was not cigarettes. What was the first item that vending machines in the U.S. ever dispensed, not cigarettes? 417-782-1310. I'll give you another hint. It's also not any soda. It's not a drink. It's not a liquid. It is something that you put in your mouth, but you don't eat. I'll put it that way. 417-782-1310. First item U.S. vending machines ever sold. Steve, you've had Ghetto Tacos, right?
Oh, yeah, they're great.
Oh.
I love them.
Muy delicioso, as they say. KZRG, do you have a guess for us?
Yes, gum.
That is exactly right. Chewing gum was the first item vending machines in the United States ever dispensed. Who do we got here?
Cindy Myers.
Hey, Cindy, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing great.
What's your favorite radio station, Cindy?
KZRG.
Oh, love to hear it, Cindy. Now, did you ever partake in chewing gum dispensing machines?
Actually, I did.
Really?
Well, that, and also Grandma used to be able to put a penny in the little candy machine, and you could get like 10 for a penny.
Holy cow.
Yeah, I remember those.
Oh, my goodness. We got to go back to those prices, huh? Hey, Cindy, don't go anywhere. We'll be with you in just a second here. And you, my friend, have just won a complimentary taco, free chips and salsa from the award-winning Ghetto Tacos. Stay on the line for us here if you don't mind, Cindy. Yeah, chewing gum.
Yeah, and I think nowadays they've gotten so high priced that they actually put credit card readers on them.
On the vending machines?
Yeah, I've seen those.
I've seen those too. I like those because I mean, I carry cash, but I don't carry like coins.
I know. That's your generation.
That is my generation.
Me, I've got coins.
You got coins? What are you going to do with coins? Yep. Can you hear it? Oh, my God. You can hear the coins in Steve's pocket. That's insane. What are you buying with coins, Steve?
Well, what I do is I actually empty my pockets and put them into a jar and take them to the bank and cash them in at some point so I can spend the money.
Well, why do you have them in your pockets to begin with?
In case somebody needs change. Like, before long, you're not going to have pennies because they're going to stop making them.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we have gotten rid of coins so much that we're going to stop producing them pretty soon, starting with the penny. Hey, by the way, coming up in about 10 minutes, we got some more news for you. Coming up in 5 minutes, a code word for your daily shot at a pair of tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival. That's coming up at 8:05. Good morning.
The 4 states news, talk, and severe weather station. KZRG, KIXQ HD2, Joplin, a free service of Zimmer Marketing.
At 8 o'clock, I'm Steve Scott.
I'm Lucas Davis.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG. Mideast war raging on.
Decision within 2 weeks.
Looking for savings. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Heading for a high of 92, heat index possibly as high as 101. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Jeff Marr following sports. That'll be at 8:08. Sunny. It's 75 in Neosho, 77 in Pittsburgh, 75 in Galena, 75 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Strikes continue to be traded between Israel and Iran. Mike Tobin has more for News Talk KZRG.
Once again, southern Israel took a hit from an Iranian missile. It hit in the town of Beersheba, very near an apartment and an industrial complex, causing fire and damage on the ground. No reports of injuries. There are reports that this single missile made its way through the air defenses because one of the interceptors malfunctioned. Beersheba is the same town where yesterday a missile hit the Soroka hospital, resulting in dozens of minor injuries, some of them serious. The IDF says strikes were carried out in the areas of Isfahan and Tehran, saying the equipment are both radar installations and missile systems intended to strike Israeli aircraft.
President Trump is leaving open the possibility of diplomacy to end Iran's nuclear program.
President Trump will decide in the next 2 weeks whether to order U.S. strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities, given that there is a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place in the near future.
He is a peacemaker in chief. He is the peace through strength president. And so if there's a chance for diplomacy, the president's always going to grab it. But he's not afraid to use strength as well, I will add.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says all options remain on the table for possible U.S. strikes, including the use of bunker buster bombs. The president is expected to continue meeting with his national security team daily through the weekend. At the White House, Jared Halpern.
Senate Republicans looking for ways to find savings in the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Iowa Senator Joni Ernst floating a number of ideas on the Fox Business Network's Mornings with Maria. Among them are removing unemployment insurance for millionaires and selling unused federal office buildings.
We will save ongoing costs to the taxpayers.
Republicans are looking for ways to find more savings for the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. The Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill could add roughly $3 trillion to the deficit over 10 years. Republicans have disagreements over the cost of the bill and its potential impact on Medicaid. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz.
On your smart speaker, AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9. News Talk KZRG, sunny 75 at 8:03.
2 young boys were killed when they were hit by a train in southeast Kansas Wednesday afternoon.
It happened on a railroad bridge over the Neosho River. 16-year-old Arthur Polrees of Walnut, Kansas, and 12-year-old Colin Showalter of Erie were unable to outrun the train. Officials say they found Polreese's body Wednesday afternoon, but as of late last night, they were still searching for the remains of Showalter. Authorities believe he was swept away in the flooded river below. I'm Ty Albright for NewsTalk KZRG.
Celebrate Neo Show returns with music, food, family, fun, and fireworks. Jessica Johnson with the City of Neosho telling News Talk KZRG.
Our annual Celebrate Neosho event is coming back this year, and it will be on Saturday, June 28th in downtown Neosho. We will have live music, lots of free activities and paid activities. We'll have some community booths, a car show, and then we'll also have some special contests going on.
Fireworks in the night starting around 9:30. Full details inside the KZRG app. If you see news, text us at 417-782-1310. Sunny 77. Make that 79 now at 8:04. News Talk KZRG.
Missouri wants to do more business with France.
The governor and a Missouri delegation are in France with the goal of bringing jobs and investments to the Show Me State. They are meeting with government leaders, diplomats, and business executives to promote the state. The delegation attended the Paris Air Show this week, the largest trade event in the aerospace industry.
We ended the day with Eric Lindbergh, the grandson of Charles Lindbergh, celebrating the 98th year that Spirit of St. Louis flew from St. Louis to New York to right here to Paris.
The group has also visited Schneider Electric's headquarters in France, which has a circuit breaker manufacturing plant in Columbia. Elisa Nelson, Missouri Net.
It's 8:05. It's time now for your code word.
Code word, code word, code word.
Your 805 code word is winner. Text the word winner to 417-782-1310 for your daily shot at a pair of tickets to the Outlaw Music Festival featuring Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan. Winner is that 805 code word.
Today marks the longest stretch of daylight in 2025 and the first day of what's already looking to be a hot summer season.
The first day of summer is when the sun stays out the longest. It's happening today with the sun at its northernmost point with around 15 hours of sunlight, according to the Farmer's Almanac for the northern half of the globe, officially kicking off the summer solstice with pools and beaches likely in high demand as a heat wave moves in this weekend into next week for millions of Americans across the country, including triple-digit temperatures expected, along with heat warnings across the East Coast's I-95 corridor. Jeff Manasso.
Now with sports, here's Lucas Davis on News Talk KZRG.
In MLB action, the Cardinals earned a sweep of a doubleheader against the White Sox on Thursday. St. Louis scored 3 times in the 8th inning to rally and beat the Sox 5-4 in Game 1. Wilson Contreras homered and drove in 3. Ivan Herrera and Alec Burleson each had 2 hits and scored a run in the win. Lars Newbar homered in the 10th inning to send the Redbirds to an 8-6 win in extras over the Palehosers in Game 2. The Cardinals are back at home for 7 straight, with the first of 3 against Cincinnati scheduled for 6:15 tonight at Busch Stadium. You can hear that game on our sister station, AM 1230, The Talker. Joe Caglione went deep twice for his first 2 home runs of the season in the Royals' 4-1 win over the Rangers. Vinny Pasquantino added a 2-run bomb in the win as well. The Royals are at the Padres for 3 games, with the opener scheduled for 8:40 tonight. In Mid-America action, the Piney Woods Timberhogs defeated the Joplin Outlaws 6-4. In the NBA, the Indiana Pacers evened the series at 3-3 with a 108-91 win over the OKC Thunder in the NBA Finals. Game 7 is set for 7 p.m. on Sunday. Lucas Davis, News Talk KZRG.
It's absolutely free at your app store. Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. I'm Steve Scott.
I'm Lucas Davis.
Next news, 8:30, breaking news as it happens. News Talk KZRG, where you get more accurate weather more often. KZRG meteorologist now, Jeff Marr.
Here is your KZRG forecast. Clear this morning, then a sunny afternoon with gusty winds out of the southwest and a high of 92. The heat index close to 100. Overnight clear, the low 76. And a dry weekend with sunshine tomorrow and Sunday as highs get close to 90. I'm Jeff Marr in the KZRG Storm Center.
For almost 70 years, Zimmer Marketing has helped thousands of businesses tell their story, reach new people, and grow their bottom line. When you need to reach people, choose the company that spent decades perfecting their craft while getting better with age. Zimmer Marketing.
Clean sweep this morning on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar. 75 in Neosho, 77 Pittsburgh. It's 79 in Carl Junction, 79 in Joplin. 100 weather updates every 24 hours. News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time 8:08.
In just 6 months, you could become a professional manicurist. Hi, I'm Paige Merriman, the admissions coordinator at City Point Beauty Academy. Our nail technology program is structured to teach you the art of being a professional nail technician and provide you with business education to help boost your career. I personally invite you to give us a call or visit our website.
Birds, angry birds.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm perfectly calm. Yeah, waving the gun around?
I'm
calmer than you are. Just take it easy. Calmer than you are.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out?
Hey, see you later, Gary.
Great candidates for your roles. It seems impossible.
Yeah, you get used to a style of humor. The comedy aspect fades. I'm with Ted on this one. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. I have no beef with it. That is an observation that I've noticed.
Whatever the humor is now, I'm not relating to that at all.
And that's
There
fine.
is none.
I don't expect you to.
Yeah, I'm just living right now. Why would I relate to the comedy right now?
Because, well, first off, it's two different things. One, it's individuals, for sure. But two, I think it's also the overall tenor of generation and society.
So you think a 39-year-old male is not in the heat of the generational society of this
No, that's
country?
why I said there's two aspects. One of them is the individual, and both have 50% claim of this argument. So they're both equally. It's not like generational conversational tenor is the majority of the deciding factor. It's 50%. The other 50%.
Ken, you're using a lot of $10 words, and I don't know what they mean, so I'm going to take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth. You know what that's off of?
No, what is that?
40-year-old virgin.
I'm going to take them as disrespect.
Look, you're saying a lot of words, and I don't know what they mean. I'm going to take them as disrespect. Watch your mouth.
Dude, that's an awesome line.
You know who says that? Kevin Hart.
No,
that was like one of Kevin Hart's.
It
It was a cameo, like one of his first appearances in a movie.
No
ever.
kidding.
Yeah.
Because I know that's a stacked cast. I didn't know he was in it.
He was like a customer at like the Best Buy that they worked at or whatever.
That's so funny, dude.
He's been acclimated. He's a little slow to understanding, but he's up there now.
And it's all to raise money for Honor Flight of the Ozarks. Join the fun and support a great cause on Saturday, June 28th. Sponsored by Zimmer Marketing, Joplin Greenhouse and Coffee Shop, and Food for Less.
From Studio 1Z, with the latest news, commentary, and weather, it's the KZRG Morning News Watch on News Talk, KZRG.
Just after 10 this beautiful first day of summer Friday. Ted
After
Bojorquez.
10.
Or excuse me, 8:10 is what I meant to say.
Yeah, 8:10, I'd say. Boy, you're getting a little bit carried away. You're looking for the weekend.
Just after 10. Ted, I'm coming to you live from the future.
Ooh.
It's Ted
Back
Bojorquez.
to the future. It's Steve Scott.
Where nothing's funny, I'm Lucas Davis.
It's FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310. Steve, what's our weather outlook today and this weekend?
Well, first time we've seen this for a little while. Heat index could top out today as high as 101.
Blah.
That's what it could feel like. Actual high is going to be 92 with lots of sunshine. And for some odd reason, the sun looks bright, a lot brighter and oranger in the graphics they put on the weather forecast at the National Weather Service when it's 92. Now for Saturday, Sunday, and Monday, even on Tuesday, the high is either going to be 91 or 90 all those days with lots of sunshine, but it's got a blue sky with a little white glowing globe in it.
Steve, not only does he provide commentary on the weather for the 4 states, he also provides commentary on the graphic designs for the weather in the 4 states.
Night times are going to be looking good. We've got moons with dark skies and clear skies.
Yeah, from now on, instead of us providing actual weather information, we're going to say, well, the picture shows a really bright sun, so it's probably going to be nice and warm.
Oh,
and
you sound like
this picture
South
says,
Park.
Like Cartman?
Yeah, you sound
Respect
like Cartman.
my authority.
But it's going to be nice. It's going to be hot, and it's already warming up. I can't believe the update in the forecast or temperatures we just got. 77 in Neosho now, 77 in Pittsburgh, 79 in Baxter Springs, and 79 in Joplin. It's well on its way.
And what's the picture showing for 79 in Joplin?
It's showing a arrow going way up in the red.
Oh, boy. So that's your weather outlook for today and this weekend. NewsTalk KZRG, we got you covered, whether it be with actual meteorological numbers and figures, or whether that be with pretty pictures. We have you covered either way.
Sounds good.
Well, I don't know if you saw this. We had it in the Big Three. You might have heard it, but it's, I think, a little jarring. And that is Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley is once again calling out Tyson Foods, accusing the Food Processing Corporation of employing both illegal migrants and children. This, while Tyson Foods is also under fire for closing United States plants and laying off Americans. We had that very thing happen very close to you, didn't we, Steve?
Knoll, Missouri, down in McDonald County. They closed the plant that had been there for many, many years.
Mm-hmm. And what was it, like 1,400?
I believe 1,400.
Somewhere around there?
Somewhere between 1,500 workers were let go.
American workers. Around 1,400 American workers lost their jobs.
That's true.
Around there. Because Tyson Foods decided to close up shop. And now Senator Hawley is accusing, it's just accusations, that same company of using illegal migrants and children to produce their product as opposed to American workers. Again, accusations. Going to make that point very, very clear here. Innocent until proven guilty.
That's true.
Now this is something that Josh Hawley said is a top priority of his. In fact, during a Senate hearing this week, Hawley asked Andrew Rogers, and Andrew Rogers is not Mr. Rogers' son or anything, totally different guy. Andrew Rogers is President Donald Trump's nominee to lead the Labor Department's Wage and Hour Division. And Senator Hawley kind of grilled him in that Senate hearing about this issue. Take a listen to this.
Following my letter to the Secretary, the acting head of the department, the division that you are now nominated to fill, responded to me and said the following: protecting children against illegal child labor is one of the top priorities of the department and the Wage and Hour Division. Wage and Hour investigates every actionable complaint, tip, and referral about child labor violations, takes those allegations very seriously. He went on to say that the Wage and Hour Division is engaged, I'm quoting now, the Wage and Hour Division is engaged in ongoing investigations of Tyson Foods and its contractors under the FLSA. So here's my question for you. Should you be confirmed, will you continue WHD's open investigation of Tyson Food?
Well, Senator, I can't comment without knowing more of the details, but I certainly commit to continue to investigate offensive child labor wherever it may be.
So that's great that Hawley is bringing this, getting some federal attention, I suppose, on a national level to this issue. Now, where these allegations originally stem from, apparently a whistleblower that is a former Tyson Foods employee. This whistleblower claims to have oversaw plant safety and alleges that they personally witnessed underage workers and also received multiple reports from hourly Tyson employees about children workers in the plant. Now, according to these allegations from this whistleblower, again, allegations, allegedly, all of that, according to the allegations, these child workers were employed by a third-party entity contracted by Tyson Foods to work for the plant. So potentially, a little sneaky-roo around here, like, oh, well, we didn't hire the kids. We just hired out this third-party contractor to do it, and they're the ones that hired the kids and the illegal migrants. I don't know anything about it.
Interesting.
Again, this is all alleged. They're still taking a look at it. But Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley, he said he's on the ball when it comes to trying to deal out this issue. Look, I don't think there's any question. I'm sure there are absolutely companies around the country that employ illegal migrants and take advantage of children by circumnavigating child labor laws. Is Tyson Foods one of them? I don't know. It looks like the Department of Labor is going to go ahead and investigate.
Well, right now, though, if they have illegal migrants working for them, they're probably going to be having ICE at their door.
Very potentially.
Very potentially likely.
Yeah, exactly. So we have that. KZRG News Time just before 8:20. Switching gears on you here. Speaking of ICE, we're seeing a lot of news about those ICE riots going on, but we're actually seeing less and less of the news now that the Iran thing is popping off. But those ICE protests and riots are still certainly happening. Those, of course, started in California and L.A. was when they first popped off. Then they moved to Spokane, Washington. They moved to a couple places in the Florida area, and now they're flaring up in Portland, Oregon.
Isn't this where they had riots one time with, what was it, Chaz or something?
Isn't this where they had riots? Steve, Portland, Oregon is perpetually having riots about something or another.
It's the riot capital.
Like when you say that, what? That one Middle Eastern country, isn't that where they're having a bunch of civil wars all the time? And the answer is whatever country it is, yes. The same logic applies with Portland, Oregon. Isn't that where they had a protest or riot about X and Y? Yes.
So let me guess. Are they letting it slide like they've done in the past?
Actually, they're cracking down a little bit more.
Wow.
Yeah, a little bit more. Federal agents in Portland, Oregon were forced to use non-lethal munitions, i.e. rubber bullets, to shut down a large group of protesters who tried to physically block law enforcement vehicles from entering or exiting an immigration and customs enforcement facility. That, of course, being ICE, an ICE facility. Now, rubber bullets were deployed, tear gas, flashbangs. And so for the flashbangs, it's actually a pretty interesting technology. They just got this really pasty white dude named Doug to take his shirt off. And all the protesters went, my eyes! And they all ran away.
Either that or they hired somebody like me with shorts on to walk through. That'd be flashbang.
Yeah. So anyway, I just want to kind of bring that up just because those ICE protests were things that we were reporting on here on KZRG. And while we still are getting some news about it, the news is starting to dissipate a little bit, and that's not because the ICE riots and protests have stopped. That is because 24-hour news cycle, people get distracted. We have a short-term memory in this country. Certainly the news media has a short-term memory. And we're already on to the big next thing, which is Iran, which is very big and scary news, of course.
Yeah.
But those ICE protests and riots, they're still happening. Do not be fooled by the lack of coverage. They're still going on. And the most recent city in which that is evidence of is Portland, Oregon. So, hey, that's lovely.
Wonderful.
KZRG News Time, 8:20.
KZRG's Big Three on News Talk, KZRG.
Number 3.
The IDF says that it carried out a series of strikes overnight, more than 60 Israeli fighter jets attacking dozens of military targets in Iran. Israel doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.
Number 2.
A unanimous ruling from the Court of Appeals says that President Trump was allowed to keep control of the National Guard troops deployed in L.A. This is the first time that a president has deployed the National Guard without the governor's permission since 1965.
Number 1.
Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley, as we were just discussing, accusing Tyson Foods of utilizing child labor and illegal immigrants in their workforce while simultaneously closing down American plants and laying off American workers. Hawley has requested the Labor Department to investigate.
Now, the KZRG question of the day on News Talk, KZRG.
What are your thoughts on the U.S. removing certain food dyes from our food? Good idea, bad idea, waste of time, worth doing, happening quickly, happening too quick, not happening quick enough. What are your thoughts? KZRG's Facebook page, that is the place to go, as is the KZRG app, where you can leave us an open mic message, or you can text us at 417-782-1310. Coming up, we're going to take a little look at what's going on with Kim Commando and technology. And coming up at 11 is Clay Travis and Buck Sexton here on News Talk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. It will be dry not only today, but right on through the weekend with high pressure and control. Clear this morning, then some afternoon sun.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Teresa said, honestly, that's creepy if third-party companies are sending underage workers in, because that makes me curious if they could eventually be tied to human traffickers. Yeah, I don't know. It's possible. I'm not sure. Oh, see you later, Chris.
Whether you're posing for vacation photos or relaxing on the lake, make sure your smile shines with help from modern dentistry and cosmetics. Dr. Hamdi is a certified Invisalign Gold provider, offering expert care and personalized treatment to give you the confident smile.
I gave a young lady at the counter at a local fast food McDonald's an extra quarter when paying, so I'd get a $1 bill and change. She said we're not allowed to do that. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, Chris, I did. We were talking about that earlier this morning. You might have missed it. Yeah, 50 years ago, Jaws was released. That's kind of, Chris, by the way, this like overarching conversation we've been having about the aging of horror and humor was actually sparked by that news. Because I had said Jaws did a lot for the horror genre. It is legitimate American art. It should be hailed. It should be studied. It should be appreciated. And I do all those things. But I don't find it scary. And once upon a time, that movie was really scary. But horror as a genre alters, it changes, it betters itself. And things that were once the scariest thing no longer are. And that's kind of what sparked that whole conversation. I'm not even going to say conversation. That whole fight that Lucas and I had about horror and humor. It was sparked by that Jaws news. But yeah, I did see that. Super interesting.
You're planning a big event, and one thing's for sure. You don't want to cook for that many people. Fire up the phone and call Rockin' W Barbecue. Husband and wife team Charles and Sylvia.
I'm going to switch you guys over to hear what's going on with your money.
Great, authentic, KC-style barbecue. And they're ready to bring their slow smoke flavors to your next wedding, reunion, corporate, private, or community event. Rockin' W Barbecue is more than just food. It's family, community, and passion for the best flavors in the 4 states. Find the menu and book today at rockinwbbq.com.
This is a lot of stuff to throw away. We better call Reliable Roll-Offs and rent a dumpster.
Any idea what size?
Their standard 30-yard container should be big enough.
All right, how much will that hold?
A lot.
What?
It's big.
Okay, but how much does it hold?
A lot.
Well, how much is a lot?
Like 8 feet wide, 20 feet long, 5 feet tall. So it holds a lot.
30-yard container, 14-day rental, one affordable price. Learn about a free estimate at ReliableRolloffs.net. When you're counting on a job well done, you need Reliable Roll-Offs.
Despite its best efforts, sometimes all-night, hands-on-deck emergency meetings, Google search is wounded. Just as it suddenly appeared in 1998 and killed off its competitors like Alta Vista, Yahoo, and Excite, AI, especially ChatGPT, has taken a big toll on Google. And now, in a desperate attempt to remain relevant, Google has unveiled its plan to win you back. I'm Kim Commando for LinkedIn Jobs. Post a job for free. Find qualified candidates quickly. LinkedIn.com/Kim. Google just launched its new feature that they hope you'll love, the one they think brings you back to them after you wandered off with ChatGPT. Now, you can actually talk to Google Search and tell it what you're looking for, and it can have a conversation with you. Isn't that exciting? I mean, it's almost as exciting as when ChatGPT rolled out the same feature. Let's see. Wasn't that a year or so ago? Over 650,000 folks start their day with my free newsletter. You should too. Sign up at getkim.com. As a small business owner, you don't have the luxury of clocking out early. Your business is on your mind 24/7. So when you're hiring, you need a partner that grinds just as hard as you do. That hiring partner is LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn makes it easy to post your job for free, share it with your network, and get qualified candidates that you can manage all in one place. Their new feature can help you write job descriptions and then quickly get your job in front of the right people. Either post your job for free or pay to promote. Promoted jobs get 3 times more qualified applicants. At the end of the day, the most important thing to your small business is the quality of candidates. And with LinkedIn, you can feel confident that you're getting the best. Find out why more than 2.5 million small businesses use LinkedIn for hiring today. Find your next great hire on LinkedIn. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim. That's linkedin.com/Kim to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Do it today. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/Kim.
It's the KZRG Morning News Watch on NewsTalk, KZRG.
Just before 8:30 this first day of summer morning, Ted Bojorquez.
Steve Scott and a hot child in the city because it is, as you said, the first day in the summertime.
Yes, Surrey Bob also joining us this morning.
Lucas Davis.
Look at that. Lucas is in the house.
Here for the 8:30.
It's FM 102.9, 105.9, streaming live on the KZRG app and also, of course, on AM 1310. Steve, how's our weather outlook? It's going to be a hot one today.
Oh, yeah. We have a heat index possibly topping out as high as 101 today with the actual high of 92. Lots of sunshine. In fact, the forecast does not have rain in it for at least a week now. Possibly by next weekend we could have rain, but this weekend it's going to be a great weekend to get your swimming trunks on, your Speedos, your Slow-Os, and other wear to go
other
swimming.
Hose.
Yeah, okay, underhose, whatever. But you
Garden
can go swimming.
hose.
Hey, that'd be good. But you can go swimming at either at the swimming pools.
I have a cousin named Jose.
Or go to the creeks. In fact, I know some people that are planning on going on float trips this weekend.
Oh,
you won't see Santa saying ho ho ho.
We're full of ho jokes.
Do I need
today.
to get my dad joke book out?
Yeah. Go to grab one.
Go to the index. See if they got ho
Steve's,
jokes in there.
Steve Scott was recently gifted a book, a literal book
By
of
my
dad
son
jokes.
For dad jokes.
More than 350. He just opened up a random page. What do you got for us, Steve?
Why should you never let an impressionist painter park?
Why?
They can never remember where the van goes.
Yeah, that was bad.
Thank you.
In any case, it's going to be a hot one. If you want to know,
Yeah, the lows are going to be in the mid-70s for all the rest of the nights for like a week.
Yeah. So if you want to stay up to date, I know there's not going to be any crazy severe weather, but look, temps can get real nutty, and if you want to know exactly what temps you can expect to see for your exact location at any given point in time, at any hour, the Zimmer Storm Center app, really great tool to stay up to date with this summer heat. Totally free to download in the App Store. Absolutely worth. Hey, coming up at 9 this morning, Chris Plant, he's going to be joining us. He's going to have a lot to say about what's going on with the Middle East, most notably the fact that Missouri is home to the Whiteman Air Force Base, which is the only base on planet Earth that has the B-2 stealth bombers stationed at, which are the very stealth bombers that the U.S. and Israel might need to bomb Iran's final giant nuclear processing plant.
300 feet deep in the mountain.
Right. And so they might need to use Missourians Air Force Base in order to go to attack them. So Chris Plant, he's going to have a lot to say on that. He's going to be here at 9. Good morning.
At 8:30, I'm Steve Scott.
I'm Lucas Davis.
Here's what's trending on News Talk KZRG. Mideast war raging on.
Decision within 2 weeks.
Looking for savings in the one big beautiful bill. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk. KZRG topping out at 92. Your complete forecast with KZRG meteorologist Jeff Marr. Following sports, that'll be at 8:38. Sunny, 77 Neosho, 77 Pittsburgh, 79 in Galena, 79 in Joplin. FM 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, News Talk KZRG. Strikes continue to be traded between Israel and Iran. Mike Tobin is more for News Talk KZRG.
Once again, southern Israel took a hit from an Iranian missile. It hit in the town of Beersheba, very near an apartment and an industrial complex, causing fire and damage on the ground. No reports of injuries. There are reports that this single missile made its way through the air defenses because one of the interceptors malfunctioned. Beersheba is the same town where yesterday a missile hit the Soroka hospital, resulting in dozens of minor injuries, some of them serious. The IDF says strikes were carried out in the areas of Isfahan and Tehran, saying the equipment are both radar installations and missile systems intended to strike Israeli aircraft.
President Trump is leaving open the possibility of diplomacy to end Iran's nuclear program.
President Trump will decide in the next 2 weeks whether to order U.S. strikes against Iran's nuclear facilities, given that there is a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place in the near future.
He is a peacemaker in chief. He is the peace through strength president. And so if there's a chance for diplomacy, the president's always going to grab it. But he's not afraid to use strength as well, I will add.
White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt says all options remain on the table for possible U.S. strikes, including the use of bunker buster bombs The president is expected to continue meeting with his national security team daily through the weekend. At the White House, Jared Halpern.
Senate Republicans floating ways to find savings on the One Big Beautiful Bill Act.
Iowa Senator Joni Ernst floating a number of ideas on the Fox Business Network's Mornings with Maria. Among them are removing unemployment insurance for millionaires and selling unused federal office buildings.
We will save ongoing costs to the taxpayers.
Republicans are looking for ways to find more savings for the One Big Beautiful Bill Act. The Congressional Budget Office estimates the bill could add roughly $3 trillion to the deficit over 10 years. Republicans have disagreements over the cost of the bill and its potential impact on Medicaid. In Washington, Ryan Schmelz.
NewsTalk KZRG, Sunshine 79 at 6:33.
One man is in custody after a fiery crash near Veneta, Oklahoma yesterday.
It all happened when a car lost control on I-44, swerved into a box truck, which caused that semi to veer off an overpass and fall onto Highway 60 below, where it burst into flames. The driver of the car, Nurbon Hernandez Guzman, fled the scene on foot but was found in a wooded area about 3 hours later. He now faces several charges and is also being held for immigration and customs enforcement. Only minor injuries were reported. I'm Ty Albright, News Talk KZRG.
In Jefferson City, legislators hammered out a preliminary package to convince the Kansas City Chiefs and Royals to stay in the state of Missouri and not relocate to Kansas. Missouri Lieutenant Governor David Wassinger told NewsTalk KZRG they didn't get around to voting until the wee small hours of the morning.
We've been awake for 16 or 17 hours. You're just not going to have your best product in place, and I'm not sure the senators quite knew what they were voting on. I talked to a few of them after the fact. They had buyer's remorse a week later and said it then had to go through the House of Representatives, said there were any changes to the bill, they were now not going to vote for it.
Wassinger says the people who benefited the most from the bill that was passed were big city lawyers and the St. Louis Cardinals. If you see News, text us at 417-782-1310. News Talk KZRG, 79 with sunshine at 8:35.
Inattentive driving caused a fatal crash Wednesday afternoon in northeast Oklahoma. The Highway Patrol says 39-year-old Keith Jones on his motorcycle when he was hit by a pickup truck on the southwest side of Miami. Jones was pronounced dead at the scene. The truck driver, however, was not injured.
Having a fight with his wife, a Florida man avoids going home to his angry wife, but probably wishes that he had done so.
He traded the ball and chain for handcuffs. The unidentified man is accused of breaking into a random house and hung out there for several days to avoid going home to his wife after they had a fight. Polk County Sheriff's deputies were called to the home by a neighbor who noticed suspicious activity while the homeowner was away. When cops walked in, they found the suspect cooking himself dinner and had just run a luxurious bath. He faces unarmed burglary and other charges. Chris DeMeo.
Now with sports, here's Lucas Davis on News Talk KZRG.
In MLB action, the Cardinals earned a sweep of a doubleheader against the White Sox on Thursday. St. Louis scored 3 times in the 8th inning to rally and beat the Sox 5-4 in Game 1. Wilson Contreras homered and drove in 3. Ivan Herrera and Alec Burleson each had 2 hits and scored a run in the win. Lars Newbar homered in the 10th inning to send the Redbirds to an 8-6 win in extras over the Palehosers in Game 2. The Cardinals are back at home for 7 straight, with the first of 3 against Cincinnati scheduled for 6:15 tonight at Busch Stadium. You can hear that game on our sister station, AM 1230, The Talker. Joe Caglione went deep twice for his first 2 home runs of the season in the Royals' 4-1 win over the Rangers. Vinny Pasquantino added a 2-run bomb in the win as well. The Royals are at the Padres for 3 games, with the opener scheduled for 8:40 tonight. In Mid-America action, the Piney Woods Timberhogs defeated the Joplin Outlaws 6-4. In the NBA, the Indiana Pacers evened the series at 3-3 with a 108-91 win over the OKC Thunder in the NBA Finals. Game 7 is set for 7 p.m. on Sunday. Lucas Davis, News Talk KZRG.
Download the Zimmer Storm Center app today. It's free of charge at your app store. I'm Steve Scott.
I'm Lucas Davis.
Next news, 9 o'clock. Breaking news as it happens. AM 1310, FM 102.9, 105.9, News Talk KZRG. No one gives you more accurate weather more often than News Talk KZRG. Now, KZRG meteorologist Jeff Marr.
Here is your KZRG forecast. It will be dry not only today, but right on through the weekend with high pressure in control. Clear this morning, then some afternoon sun. The high headed to 92. That heat index, though, near 100, adding humidity as winds gust in from the northwest at times. Still breezy tonight with a clear sky, to low down to 76. A sunny and windy Saturday with a high of 91 and a heat index into the mid-90s. And some more dry weather on Sunday and Monday. Expect sunshine each day as high temperatures top out in the low 90s. I'm Jeff Marr in the KZRG Storm Center.
Clean sweep on the KZRG Storm Tracker radar this morning. 77 in Neosho, 77 Pittsburgh, 77 in Webb City, 79 in Joplin. 100 weather updates every 24 hours. News Talk KZRG. KZRG News Time, 8:38.
7 weeks to be seen.
Good morning, everyone. Still on the horror and humor debate.
So
right?
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. You don't find that movie funny?
No. Okay, I did not laugh when I watched that movie. I appreciated the dialogue. It was smart writing. The acting was good. But at no point did I sit there and laugh.
Tommy Boy, you don't think that's good?
I laughed at that one.
These are 40-year-old movies now. So this is 4 decades. These are movies are still, the comedy is... Hey,
look, man, again, all I'm saying is I'm just saying in 20 years, those movies, when they get to 60 years old, kids are not going to find them funny.
Anything that you... Well, if that's 100 years old, it's not going to be funny.
That's my whole point. That's my entire argument.
But this is not even... I'm saying 40 years is a good judgment of this, not 180. Because it's not going to be just comedy or horror. Anything 100 years from now is not going to have the same effect.
I think we're both agreeing on the rule. We're now just we're just disagreeing on at what time point does it go from aging to non-aging. You think 40 years is too soon to tell whether or not it's age.
I think 40 years is the proper time to see whether or not it's age. I think 100 years is far too old. Because nothing... But your whole point is that it's horror and comedy. I'm saying everything at 100 years old is not going to translate at that point.
Probably. That's probably
because
true.
of the advancements of everything.
Yeah.
But I'm saying comedy itself, right now, I can go back and watch a movie from the 70s and still find humor in it.
Yeah, okay.
Like Blazing Saddles. If the movie's good enough, the comedy will translate.
I don't think people that are, let's say, 20 years old today are probably not going to laugh out loud at those movies.
I bet they will at Tommy Boy.
Maybe. Depends on the person. But broadly speaking, I'm going to put a huge net out there. I think your average 20-year-old is probably not going to watch a 40-year-old movie and literally laugh out loud. The same way that I laugh out loud at Rick and Morty. Or like when you're 40-year-old virgin. Like certain lines from that, I literally laugh out loud. There's a lot of older comedy
movies. That movie's
movies,
approaching 30 years old.
and I was raised with it. That's what I think it is. I think if you were to ask a 20-year-old to watch Airplane, they're probably not going to laugh that loud. They'll probably roll their eyes more than anything.
Yeah.
How about Naked Gun?
Naked Gun's a great example. There's Naked Gun clips on my Twitter feed all the time. I look at them and my brain says, this was funny, but
But
that's
that's the same type of comedy as Airplane, which is not the exact same type of comedy of all 80s comedy.
But in Naked Gun movies, the best part was the credits at the end of the movie, like when it'd say, in case of tornado, southwest corner basement in the house.
Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't find...
Or give recipes.
Like I would say Beverly Hills Cop is funny because Eddie Murphy is funny in it. And in 20 or 40 years, I'm still going to find humor in that movie, even though it's an action comedy.
I don't think... Again, I'm looking at younger generations. I'm looking at people that are coming up with these, not people that were raised on these movies. People that were raised on these movies, whether it was...
Well, I already gave you the example. I never watched Blazing Saddles until I was 27 years old and thought that movie was hilarious.
Okay.
I wasn't raised on that movie.
How about Lethal Weapon, when the guy the cop kills somebody with a nail gun, he goes, nailed it.
Yeah, but we have to use movies that I wasn't grown up on. Like I saw Lethal Weapon when I was like 8 or 9 years old.
When did you see Young Frankenstein?
Yeah, Young Frankenstein I find boring.
I've never watched Young Frankenstein.
You need to watch it.
Need is a strong word.
I'll explain when we're not talking to our friends.
What? Why?
Because there's a line in there that's
What's
a
the
little
line?
bit risque.
What is it?
It was right after the... All right, I'll go ahead and say it. It's right after
you got 10 seconds, go.
Right after the Frankenstein character made love to the lady, and then he got up to leave, and she said, "You just make love to the lady 7 times and get up and leave?" You laughed.
All right, I laughed because that was like a risque line. That's not even that risque.
News Talk, KZRG.
Ted Bojorquez.
Steve Scott.
News Talk KZRG. We are sitting at 102.9, 105.9, AM 1310, and also on your smart speaker. Steve, what's our weather today?
Hot, sunny, 92 for the high, heat index topping out around 100 to 101. Good news, though, for tomorrow. It's going to be cooler, 91 for the high. That's from 92 for today, but there's less humidity, so the heat index tomorrow is only going to be topping out around 95, 96 degrees. Nighttime, it's going to be around 75 all the rest of the next, say, 4 or 5 days, with the highs around 90 to 92 degrees over the next 4 or 5 days, with lots of sunshine. Next chance of rain is probably going to be not this weekend, but next weekend.
Next weekend, you
So
said.
party this weekend.
All right. So there you have it. Hey, there's a lot going on in the 4 states that you might want to be made aware of. That event's happening both this weekend and later on this week. Really the big one, and we talked about it extensively this morning, and that is Celebrate Neosho is coming up. It's a really very family-friendly, fun way to do exactly that. Celebrate Neosho. There's going to be live music, food, fireworks. Steve, let's hear it.
Well, Jessica Johnson with the City of Neosho tells News Talk KZRG.
And this year, the admission is free and open to the public, and we've got great music. We've got 3 bluegrass bands, No Apparent Reasons, the Vote Sisters, and Route 3, as well as food trucks, lawn games, and even a fireworks finale.
And that fireworks finale will start around 9:30 and go until approximately 10 o'clock tonight. And those bluegrass bands are going to sound great on that stage there in downtown Neosho.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a lot of fun. Really, really very cool event. You can go to newstalkkzrg.com. You can click on that article, and all the details are there. Another really cool sort of event coming to the 4-state area, I believe starting tomorrow, at Big Spring Park, there's a free concert series. Now, Steve, you know all about Big Spring Park, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's going to be, the Arts Council is going to be holding a sidewalk chalk fun draw during each concert. Attendees should be bringing lawn chairs or blankets in case of rain, but there's no chance of rain, at least in the forecast right now. The performance will move indoors if there is rain. But that's going to be a lot of fun at Big Spring Park, which is, I believe, also in Neosho.
Yeah, exactly. So a lot going on, indeed, in the Neosho area. Just a lot going on in general. Yesterday, for instance, we had Third Thursday yesterday. That was a lot of fun. Now, what's some other stuff happening, Steve?
Well, one of the things that's happening tonight, it's going to be Friday Fun Drags. It's your chance to hit the track under the lights in a relaxed, open test format, whether you're dialing in with a new setup, making grudge passes with friends, or just want to experience the thrill of drag racing, you can do so legally. It's called Friday Fun Drags at Mocan Dragway, which is located just north of Asbury on Highway 171. That's going to be happening tonight.
Yeah.
Gates open at 6, and the race will be under the lights from 7 until 11.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And to clarify, it is drag races. I know Steve was really disappointed when he found out it wasn't a drag show. He was all excited. No. He goes by his drag queen name, which is, of course, Miss Rainicorn. And he borrows a lot of Mrs. Steve's, her pumps and her jewelry.
Listen, I remember back in the 70s when I first moved to this area and I had to cut commercials for this place. And it was always, Friday, 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 be there or be square.
And that was for the drag queen contest?
Drag races.
Oh, drag races. Oh, I'm sorry. And by the way, I didn't mean to out your other alternative lifestyle there, Steve. I just know you're very proud of it. KZRG News Time.
I don't have an alternative lifestyle. Maybe you do.
Really? Are you sure, Steve? Because I could have sworn I saw an infinity scarf sticking out of your coat pocket.
Do you want some more dad jokes?
Oh, God. We're sitting at a KZRG News Time of 8:45. Yes, Steve recently got a book of more than 350 dad jokes, and basically he brought into the studio a weapon of mass destruction, because now all he has to do is threaten to open the book, and I will stop talking immediately.
Fantastic. Now I know what to do.
Another really cool event that's coming to the 4-state area tomorrow is a summer solstice hike. The summer solstice is really very cool. It's the longest day of the year. Wildcat volunteers are taking advantage of this longest day of the year. You can join them on a 4-mile trail hike through Wildcat Park.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Now, this hike, just a little warning, it is for those who can handle long hikes with periods of rather steep or maybe even rough terrain. Keep in mind, the weather is going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow. So for those that have a hard time walking long distances in extreme heat, maybe this is not for you. But if you're an outdoorsy person, come check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can bring your hiking poles if you want to. You can also, it's recommended hiking shoes, bring a lot of water. Definitely bring a lot of water. Maybe a few little snacks would be good. So it's really very cool. Now, you have to register to go to this to partake in this hike. But if you want to just check out the Wildcat Glades Park, you don't need to register. You can just roll up.
But I will also let you know something else is going to be happening a week from tomorrow.
What's that, Steve?
Connect to Culture will be holding their Liberty Celebration. Executive Director Emily Frankowski tells NewsTalk KZRG.
We applied to build a program with the Boys and Girls Club locally, specifically their teens, because it was a group that was just kind of underserved and wanted to give them some opportunities to get creative this summer.
Now, it starts at 6 p.m. on Saturday, June 28th at the Leggett and Platt Green on the south side of Cornell Complex at 7th and Joplin Street. More information inside the story at NewsTalk KZRG. Actually, I think I played the wrong audio clip.
Go ahead and play the right one,
And
Steve.
this year, the admission is free and open to the public, and we've got great music. We've got 3 bluegrass bands, No Apparent Reasons, the Vote Sisters, and Route 3, as well as food trucks, lawn games, and even a fireworks finale.
That was actually the wrong one, too.
Come on, Steve.
That's amazing.
You want to play the right one now?
Well, it says
right,
the
here.
right one is playing, but
That's
it's
all right.
not.
Here, I got the right one right here.
All right, go for it.
Steve Scott has no idea how to play the right audio when we're talking about news stories on the KZRG Morning News Watch. I think that was the, was that the right
That's fine. That's fine. The program is messing up on our computer.
Yeah, all the details are at newstalkkzrg.com. There's a lot of events in the four-state area that you're going to want to take a part of as we now officially roll into summertime. Though, of course, if you have kids, summertime starts right about exactly when school ends because you're now responsible for watching the Little Rascals day in and day out.
You are?
Well, I'm not, but parents are.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well,
you're not there yet.
I'm not there
yet. You can't celebrate Father's Day. You have to celebrate Singles Day.
I celebrate Father's Day. I celebrate my father.
Yeah, your father, but
Yeah.
you can't celebrate for you yet because you're not a father.
Well, I could
Yeah.
be. Hey, you're lucky I'm not one of those Gen Zers that has a fur baby that just gets a dog or a cat and says, I'm a parent to a fur baby, and then treat their animal like a child. At least I'm not one of those guys.
I have a fur baby. It's my cat.
And do you refer to it as a fur baby? Do you have a stroller for it?
Well, I always talk about mommy and daddy when I'm referring to us when we're talking to the cat.
Ew. I want
to
to drop an ew on that, Steve.
I even fed the cat this morning. I fed and watered her.
All right. KZRG News Time, 8:50. I don't want to know what you and Mrs. Steve call each other in the privacy of your own home.
I think Mrs. Steve
All
cleaned
right.
the litter box this morning before I got up.
Oh, boy. 8:50 is the news time.
KZRG's Big Three on News Talk KZRG.
Number 3.
The IDF says it carried out a series of strikes overnight. More than 60 Israeli fighter jets attacked dozens of military targets in Iran. Israel doesn't seem to be slowing down anytime soon.
Number 2.
A unanimous ruling from the Court of Appeals says that President Trump was allowed to keep control of National Guard troops deployed in Los Angeles. This is the first time that a president has deployed the National Guard without the governor's permission since 1965.
Number 1.
Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley accusing Tyson Foods of utilizing child labor and illegal immigrants in their workforce while simultaneously closing down American plants and laying off American workers. Hawley has requested the Labor Department investigate.
Now, the KZRG question of the day on News Talk KZRG.
What are your thoughts on the U.S. removing certain food dyes from our food in America? We want to know your thinking. This is an initiative started by the MAHA movement, Make America Healthy Again, spearheaded, of course, by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. under the Trump administration. What are your thoughts on removing these food dyes from American food? Do you think it's a good idea, bad idea? Do you think it's a dumb idea? Do you not care? Do you care? but like the food dyes. Whatever the case is, let us know on KZRG's Facebook page. You can also text us at 417-782-1310 or leave us an open mic message on the KZRG app. Coming up, Chris Plant. He's going to be here in less than 10 minutes. He has a lot to say, as he always does. You're not going to want to miss it on NewsTalk KZRG.
Here is your KZRG forecast. It will be dry not only today, but right on through the weekend with high pressure in control. Clear this morning, then some afternoon sun. The high headed to 90.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Hey, thanks for hanging out. Rick said, wait, you mean there's a chance that my yard will actually have time to dry out for a while?
Yeah, that's true.
Why don't they have drag queen races? That would be cool.
That would be
a
very
drag
cool.
queen drag race? That'd be tight. So he said, well, Ted, you are the one that brought up the pregnancy test earlier.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good